So put on a good show. Good show. 115.
Decision 2026 primary election coverage is brought to you in partnership with 76 Circle K, Beans and Barrels Guam, and Docomo Pacific.
Hafa day and good evening, Guam. I'm Jason Salas, and on behalf of the entire KUAM cast and crew, and there are several of us here at UOG Election Central tonight, we are in the Calvo Fieldhouse that is now bustling with activity. There is a lot going on right here, as Super Saturday thus far has been very, very active. Guamanians from Jigo all the way to Humata came out, cast their ballots. The precinct officials have descended upon UOG. They are on the other side. We're going to show you everything that's going on here, but trust me when I say the ballots and the polling stations have now been closed for about 2.5 hours, and right away, immediately, Ordet Talampago was the first village to actually come in and check in at UOG. The voting registrars and the volunteers already tabulating their votes. Several of your villagers and your neighbors checking in. You can see behind me right now the members of the Guam Election Commission. That's their board, that's several of the precinct officials, that's their leadership, and some of the members from Election Software and Systems, the vendor that we've used for many, many years, providing the hardware and software to tabulate the ballots. They're really working hard, and we are expecting results hopefully within the next 10 minutes or so. We've seen several of villages from all over the island have already completed their manual processing. Here's a look at the first two that got right out of the gate. Hi, Hafide. Which precinct are you guys from? Hagania. Okay, you guys are the first one out. Yay. Okay, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm
really good.
Happy. Very happy.
Relieved.
Yes.
Happy to do my civic duty.
All right, you guys were amazing. Okay, what are you guys gonna do now? You guys gonna go eat?
I'm gonna go sleep.
Eat.
I'm gonna jump on the bus.
Head to Hagania.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your service. All right, Biba Hagania.
Viva.
Which precinct are you guys?
18D.
Which one's that? What village?
Okudu.
Wow, Dedido. You got fast.
We know.
Okay. Well, since you finished this early, what do you guys plan on doing?
Go home and
gonna
sleep.
treat us fine.
And you got enough time to eat, and you can get ready for mass tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to pray to God, but we did it right.
Yeah.
Hey, Viva Ukudu.
Viva!
Thank you guys for your
Okay,
service.
bye-bye.
How was your day? How was your day at Okudu?
Good. It was good. Smooth.
Went well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Nice to see you. Home of the sharks.
All right, so as you just saw there, and if you're just joining us, and if you were playing along at home, so Ordet Talampago, which is about 3 miles that way here from the Calvo Fieldhouse at the University of Guam, they were the first village in, as I said, and the first villages to actually complete their manual tabulation of their ballots, as you saw the island's capital down in Agatna, and then one precinct from Dedido, that was Ukudu. In the time that I've been here right now, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 groups from Dedido, the island's most populous village, having completed their work. But you know, there are so many opportunities for your fellow Guamanians to cast their votes today. Really let the community and be part of the electorate and let everybody know what leadership they want. So many big races in this primary election, and let's start with the big race for Adelup. Here is what's happening with the race for the gubernatorial seats.
All eyes are on the 2026 gubernatorial election, a highly contested race with 5 teams in a running this primary to be the island's next governor and lieutenant governor. 5 is the record high according to GEC records, and there are only a handful of times Guam saw this many teams competing for the island's highest executive office. The last time was in 2018. Prior to that was in 1998. Here's a breakdown of the candidates on the ballot this primary. First to file are Senator Joe San Augustine and former Senator Dwayne San Nicolas, who are running on a campaign centered on accountability, transparency, and economic growth. The duo is third on the ballot under the Democratic ticket, a ticket facing a heated 3-way race.
For the people of Guam, you want change? You want accountability? You want transparency? This is the team to vote.
I'm really here to help improve the lives of our people. Nothing brings me greater joy than to see other people happy. And to work toward that makes me happy.
Vice Speaker Tony Ada and businessman E.G. Calvo are second to file. They are first on the ballot under the Republican ticket. Their Put Guam First platform centers on strengthening families, protecting communities, and building the economy.
We will get back those thousands of jobs we lost, and we will get back hundreds of millions missing from our economy on an annual basis.
Tony and I will take action and bring positive change that our people have been waiting for.
Team Ada Calvo are going head-to-head with Speaker Frank Bloss Jr. and former GCC President Dr. Mary Okada, the third team to file. Team Bloss Okada is number 2 on the Republican gubernatorial ballot. Their platform is grounded in restoring trust and stability in government, strengthening accountability, and delivering measurable results for families.
With our combination of tested and trusted leadership, we know that we have the know-how and experience to make Guam better.
We will continue to deliver to the people of Guam for a better Guam.
And fourth to file are Senator Therese Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez. They are first on the ballot under the Democratic ticket. Their platform is focused on addressing the rising costs of living, improving access to healthcare, and strengthening public safety.
I'm running to be your next governor because too many people on our island continue to struggle. They're frustrated with slow services, a meth crisis, special interests and corruption and waste.
We will prioritize your interests and not special interests, and we're asking you to look at our records.
Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes are the last team to officially file for a seat in Adelup, though Tenorio was the first to announce his bid for governor. Team Tenorio Muñoz Barnes is focused on building a new hospital in Mangilao and improving access to affordable housing. They are second on the Democratic side of the ballot.
I believe strongly that the most important job of the governor and the lieutenant governor is to improve the quality of life for the people of Guam.
We are our best when we work together.
Now that, of course, was the race for Guam's highest elected office. And as you can see behind me, lots of activity going on right now. Once again, please do not move a muscle. Don't swipe. Don't change a channel. Don't move a muscle, because we are expecting results any minute now. But we want to get you up to speed on one of the other races, because with so many, and you just saw the candidates that are running for gubernatorial, 6 of them are actually sitting senators right now. So there are several vacancies within the forthcoming 39th Guam legislature. Let's take a look at what the senatorial race has and who is running in that race.
Voters are getting a closer look at exactly how they'll see the crowded race for the legislature on the ballot. The Guam Election Commission says a ballot listing for the senatorial candidates sets the stage for competitive contests as dozens of hopefuls vie for a spot in the November general election. Let's go down the Republican ballot. Number 1 is incumbent Jesse Lujan. Number 2, Hoa Nguyen. Number 3, Jonathan Savares. Number 4, Joseph Ariola. Number 5, incumbent Jangu Matautau. Number 6, newcomer Mateo Mortera. Number 7, Ralph Scambolari. Number 8, incumbent Shelley Calvo. Number 9, incumbent Telo Taidegui. Number 10, Alexander Duenas. Number 11, former Senator Luisa Borja. Number 12, incumbent Sabrina Salas Matinani. Number 13, Gregorio Calvo. Number 14, incumbent Christopher Dueñas. Number 15, former Senator William Castro. Number 16, incumbent Vincent Borja. Number 17, newcomer Brandon Vera. And number 18, Robert Benavente. On the Democratic ballot, number 1, former Department of Parks and Recreation Director Angel Sablon. Number 2, Angela Santos. Number 3, incumbent William Parkinson. Number 4, Joaquin Cruz. Number 5, former Senator Clinton Rigel. Number 6, former Senator Amanda Shelton. Number 7, Gerald Yingling. Number 8, former Department of Corrections Director Fred Bordallo. Number 9, David Dueñas. Number 10, Lillian Guerrero. Number 11, incumbent Daryl Barnett. Number 12, Sarah Nedadog. Number 13, Doña Muña Canata. Number 14, Callan Perez. Number 15, former Senator Roy Canata. Number 16, Anthony Tyron. Number 17, Joaquin Taitegui. And number 18, former Senator Talina Nelson. All eyes now turn to the campaign trail as candidates work to earn voters' support before the primary. The top finishers will advance to the general election, where Guam voters will ultimately decide who will fill the 15 seats in the 39th Guam legislature.
So how will the race for the 39th Guam legislature shape up? Remember, there are 18 candidates on either side, 18 Democrats, 18 Republicans, only 15 from either side will advance to the November primary. Of course, that's going to be the first Tuesday in November. Now, what you're seeing behind me is the end result, right? The sum product of all of the manual ballot counts that the precinct volunteers, your neighbors from all walks of life, spend all day, running the various island precincts, all in all 19 different villages. Now they're actually going to run through the high technology. But I want to show you the other half of the room, because this is one half of the action. Let's go take a look at what else is going on, because if you go to the other side of the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse right now, you can actually see what is a epicenter of bustling activity right here. And as you can see maybe behind me, I know it looks like a huge bingo contest, but this is really, really huge. And there are about, I want to say, just maybe a cursory glance, maybe 150, 160 of your neighbors that are working very, very hard. Now, they were the same people, the wonderful men and women that have volunteered to actually man the precincts. They were the ones that were actually running and casting the ballots that you were casting all day. They were managing those stations. They are actually going through these, and under the guidance of the members of the Guam Election Commission, they are actually manually going through the ballots, making sure that your intent as a voter is well understood and that your ballots will be done properly. As soon as they are done with this, they package everything up, they put it in these big secured banker boxes, and then they walk it over, and then it gets fed to the tabulation machines by election systems and software. It's a very, very interesting process, and the atmosphere here is very, very electric, very positive. The people are having a lot of fun. And this is interesting. This is a perspective of the election many people do not see. Also, I want to send a very special shout out to all of my friends. That's why we call them Guam's finest, everybody. Guam Police Department is here. We have, thank you. Hey, men and women, thank you guys for your service, for real. Si just masi, you guys. Okay, and GPD has been working really, really hard all day, not just securing the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse now as it is Election Central, but also making sure that the various polling precincts, everybody was safe, everybody was well informed, that the parking wasn't a problem, and as we've been told and everything works smoothly. So GPD, thank you guys. Well done. Okay, so let's now go back to the ballot tabulators, because let's go back there, because we are expecting results hopefully to come soon. And now with these tabulators, this is, again, the real high-tech part. This is my favorite one. Okay, so I want to tell you guys a little bit of the backstory here with the tabulators. I did a report the other night when we had our test run, right? So as you can see behind me, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 tabulators in the back, and then there's the one that's all the way there on the left. I hope you guys can see that. The one that's named Resolution. That is the final machine that all of your ballots will pass through and then finally get reconciled. So as I just took you through the process right now, once the actual precinct volunteers are finished with their hand counting as I said, they give it to the GEC over here. They bring it in those boxes, which you can see over there over my right shoulder. And then they start feeding them into the tabulator machines. Now, these machines are very, very high tech, very high volume. They can actually handle 950 ballots a minute. And they actually scan the little ovals that you and your family made sure that they indicate that your votes actually do ring true. And the reason why they actually run them through all 3 machines is they check them in triplicate just to make sure that there are no discrepancies, that your ballot runs through the entire system. So it's a very intricate process. Okay, and I can see Maria Pangilinan, the executive director of the Guam Election Commission right now, very happy, and she was clapping. So that means probably results are coming very, very soon. I've done these elections. This is my 13th election, and when Maria's happy, things are working really smoothly, trust me. But the naming, I was talking about this the other night in the news. The naming of the ballot tabulator machines is Tano, Manglo, and Guaifi. That's native Chamorro for earth, sea, and land. And then the final ballot machine over there is nicknamed Flynn, and that's kind of a tradition here at the Guam Election Commission where they actually name the ballot tabulation machines after former commissioners who have passed on and are no longer with us. So Flynn being named for Joe Mesa, who was a longtime commissioner. So yeah, we can see several of the commissioners, including their leadership. That's Chairman Jerry Crisostomo right there, right behind me, wearing the nice jacket. It looks like they are verifying the vote. So we may have a batch of results very, very quickly. Once again, polling precincts closed at 8 p.m. sharp tonight. So we have been, it's about 10:45 right now. So the ballot boxes were closed and secured about 2 hours and 45 minutes ago. And there is a lot of activity here at Election Central, and more of your neighbors and more precincts continue to file out. I'm going to try and get some, trying to figure out exactly which precinct so we can let you know. Okay, so we're trying to find exactly which of the villages. Once again, I think we've got at least 2 from Ukadu. Hi, Hafaday. Hey, which village are you guys from? Talafofo. Okay, so yeah, all right. Okay, so one precinct from Talafofo has completed their manual count. Jonia just finished a few minutes ago. There was a team from Jonia that I was talking to. Jonia rules, as we say. Okay. But while we have a lot of activity here, we want to check in with some of the camps that my colleagues from the KUAM newsroom are in right now. So let's go check in with them right now.
Off day, everyone. Happy primary election day. Nick Delgado coming to you here from the St. Augustine, St. Nicholas camp. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Good. Well, we're doing great. I believe everything's positive. So
yeah,
we're going to keep moving forward.
I feel like you guys have been running on a positive campaign. I mean, you've always done that when you were in the legislature, Senator St. Nicholas, and you do your best as well, Senator St. Augustine, to keep that positive spirit through your time in government. But I want to get straight to it. I showed you the exit poll results coming out from Dr. Rongman Inch at the University of Guam. What's your response?
Well, you know, my response is number one, I'm waiting for the Guam Election Commission to give us the results. That's more important to me. You can do any exit poll you want, and it's never been positive for me running as a senator. So why am I going to treat it now as something positive? No. As far as we're concerned, we're positive. We look forward to better results than what the exit poll is showing.
And while that is just, again, exit poll results, not the actual results from what our voters, our registered voters, went out there and gave to all our candidates like yourself, does it feel like there's any defeat or?
Oh, no. You know, I've always, like I said, I've always respected the will of the people, and you know, we're going to wait for the end of the real poll, right? And then we'll go from there. You know, I've always been positive, you know, throughout my life.
know.
You know, so you know, we'll just wait. But you know, again, whatever the results are, you know, I've always been respectful of the will of the people, you know, and I'm willing to accept it. You know, being a candidate was hard, you know, and of course, if you became governor or whatever, you know, it's going to be it's a weighty proposition. You know, you're going to take on the challenges of the island, you know, is facing, and you know, we've been everywhere today, and you know, there's one eye-opening thing that I saw down in one of the villages when we stopped to you know, to relax a little bit, and somebody came up and told us all the problems that we're having in that one village, and it's a very, you know, the island is facing some very difficult times, and you know, whoever's going to be the governor and the lieutenant governor are going to be, you know, shouldering that burden, and so whoever it is, you know, it's going to be whatever the results are, we're going to respect it, and you know, I'll pray for them. I'll pray for us if we win, if we prevail.
Yeah. What were some of the eye-opening things that you might have seen along the campaign trail, especially while speaking with the people out there in the polls?
Well, you know what? Many of them were very, very positive, because we presented a positive approach to it. I don't want to talk about what's been happening in the past, because why? Whoever gets elected has to prepare for the future, not the past. You just fix everything and move forward. So everyone we've spoken to have said, no, you're the kind of folks we need. Okay. And that's why when you showed us the exit poll, we're like, that can't be true. And that's why I'm ignoring it. And you know, in the past election, the exit poll has never given me number 3 or 4 or 5, always low. And I've always come out number 4. So I'm looking at positive for Dwayne and I, that the election results will give us the votes we need to be able to move on to the general election.
Yeah.
And if not, then so be it. The people of Guam have spoken. And if anybody wants to make an excuse why I didn't vote, I'm sorry. The opportunity was today. You needed to vote today. And the people of Guam need to understand that when the election comes up, vote, because it determines your future.
And speaking of progress, I'm very interested to see, let's say that you guys make it forward to the general and eventually end up at Adelou. What does day one look like under a St. Augustine, St. Nicholas administration?
Well, before even day one comes to play, we're going to be able to prepare right after the election on November. Exactly. Prepare for transition. Prepare for everything that needs to get done. And there are not a lot of things, but the number of things are enough that the first 100 days, there will be changes. There'll be changes that you would even be surprised. Nick, you're probably going to say, really, they did this? Yes, because why? The people of Guam want changes. Not excuses for cleaning up yesterday's mistakes. No, it's all positive. Because it's for the people. That's what the people of Guam want. They want a positive movement to help Guam.
Okay. Well, that's their candidate for governor, Senator Joseph Augustine, candidate for lieutenant governor, former Senator Dwayne St. Nicholas. Gentlemen, I want to give you just the closing words before. I'll speak with you again throughout the night, but I see a few of your supporters back here enjoying some good food. And yeah, and I know the night's going to go on with some music and dance as well, because it's a celebration tonight. But anything else you want to say to the voters now that the polls have finally closed?
Well, you know, I only hope for the best for the people of Guam, because tonight's result is going to determine the movement to the general. And if it's in our favor, the movement, they're going to be surprised. But the movement will be dynamic. We're that kind of folks. You know, we're military folks.
Yeah.
We believe in dynamite approach, and that's what we're going to be looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited either way. You know, I practice impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. You know, so if it goes our way, you know, great, wonderful. But if it doesn't, then you know, we'll move forward together. We've maintained a very positive, very respectful campaign throughout the whole entire, you know, election cycle, right? So it's nothing's going to change with us. You know, we're firm in that way. You know, we're going to respect whoever succeeds, and we're going to pray for them, because you know, it's really like Joe always tells me, it's about the people, always about the people, and you know, that type of humility, you know, will dictate how we proceed from this evening forward.
All
but
right.
we always want to make sure that whatever we're doing is positive and it's right for the people, whether it's us or not. That's cool. Right?
All right, running on a positive platform. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your time. We'll continue to follow how things are going here tonight as the numbers start to come in.
Here. Yeah, we'll be here.
All right.
I need to get that pizza now.
Of course. We'll let them go eat, and we'll be here. Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, we'll be here throughout the night bringing you the latest updates and reactions from not just the candidates, but also some of the supporters. For now, I'm Nick Delgado, and Tim, back to you.
Half a day, I'm Mitsuki Hirayama here at the Tenora Munya Barnes headquarters in Hagana, and joining me now is campaign spokesperson Phil Leon Guerrero. Phil, the night is still young. Voters or supporters of the camp are still trickling in. Could you tell me how is the mood here at the headquarters so far?
Well, half a day KUAM, half a day Guam. I was on the campaign trail with the Lieutenant Governor all day and night, and I got to say we're energized and we're feeling good. Being able to see our supporters in person, being able to see the hard work that they put into this campaign all the way into this time, we're encouraged, and we think that it's going to be a long night, but we're in it for the long haul. That's why we run for governor, not because it's easy, but because we have a higher calling to do.
Definitely, and if you guys can hear things behind us, that's actually KUAM that they're playing on the big screen right behind us on the stage. And I know later in the night you guys are going to have music, you're going to have more supporters coming in.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for tonight?
I think we're most looking forward to the GEC results. There's a lot of anticipation. The polls opened at 7. Like I said, we went around the island, visited a couple polling sites more than once. And so I think, again, there's a little bit of anxiety that builds up. This isn't my first campaign, but I can tell you, once the polls close, until you get that first batch, there's always that, there's a hunger, anticipation for the real results, and I think that that's what everyone here is going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, and definitely you talked about how there's this anxiety and anticipation for the race, and this is definitely one of the biggest races to watch. The gubernatorial race, it's a 3-way race under the Democratic ticket, and I do want to know that the results of the exit poll did come out with Team Terlahi Paris leading from this exit poll with Tenora Munya Barnes coming up behind them. What are your thoughts so far on that?
I don't want to speculate on an exit poll. It represents a snapshot in time. I think that Dr. McNitch was very astute and very honest in saying that there are voters that were not represented in this poll, certainly everyone who came after 10 a.m., which I don't know about you, but I usually sleep in on a Saturday, even if it's election. And the people who the people who voted early. So I do think that, we're excited, the energy. We also were doing internal tracking, which I think we might have been the only campaign to be able to do this kind of poll reporting for all of the precincts. And we were encouraged by those numbers as well. So, where there's a little bit digression here and there, I think that's up to the GEC to make a definitive statement. We're certainly confident in the GEC's ability to hold a free and fair election. And no, you're not here.
There's me right now.
It's not a rip in the space-time continuum. But yeah, I think all we have is time. And it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get a clear and accurate picture of what this election is shaping up to be. But that's part of the excitement about running for office is, you plan, you coordinate, you months and months and months of sleepless nights and work, and it all comes down to this, and we'll know soon enough whether or not our hard work paid off. We'll certainly know what the will of the people of Guam is going to be moving into the general election.
And I do want to ask, do we know when the Lieutenant Governor and Senator Tina Munya Barnes are expected to come here to their camp?
I know that they're getting much deserved rest. They both took an early morning mass. They both had a very aggressive schedule. So I think, they're going to be here. They want to be with their supporters. They want to thank all the people. And certainly we're grateful for all of the members of our village organization, all of our donors, all of the families that came out to our waves, to our village meet and greets. We had a very, very, very packed campaign schedule since we launched the team in December. And I think we're just all eager to see the fruits of our hard work.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, and good luck to you and your campaign or
Thanks so
your
much.
campaign you're supporting.
Yeah.
And we'll hear more from you and hopefully from the LT and Senator Munya Barnes tonight.
We'll be here all night, so I mean, if KUAM is gonna be live on the air, we will be live right with you.
All right, thank you so much, Phil.
Yeah,
For now,
of
I'm
course.
Masuki Hirayama from the Tenora Munya Barnes headquarters. Back to you guys at UOG Central.
Hafaday Guam, Nevaeh Anderson reporting from the Atacalvo camp here in Hagåtña. I'm joined by one of the campaign supporters, Peter. How are you feeling to be here tonight out on this evening supporting your candidates?
Excited and tired. It was a long day, but it was a fun day. But of course, we have two great teams on the Republican side. Our team here, of course, Atacalvo. And when we were out there in the polls and out of the hospitality tents, it was great because where we were at in Chalampago, Ordat, although there were folks from the other camp, but they weren't competitors for us, they were our neighbors. It just so happens that politics required us to draw the line and choose a side. But at the end of the day, we were neighbors. So it was great to see our neighbors.
So definitely a lot of great energy out there and everyone just supporting the democratic process as a whole.
Yes, for sure. We felt nothing but support from all parties, meaning both camps. And again, it was almost like a festive fiesta type of gathering that we had, at least that I can say that we had in our precinct.
Well, that's great to hear. And I just wanted to ask you as well, what's one challenge that Guam faces or a value that you kept close to you when you were casting your ballots?
Sure. It has to be the economy. And the reason why every time someone has asked me about that, it's interesting that you say that because I was actually asked by another media outpost, and I gave the same answer. The economy is the basis and the basic part of anything that we're going to do in this government. So the three pillars of the Organic Act for public health, public safety, and education, they're all great in regards to the platforms, but if the economy isn't there to support that, then none of those things will happen. So the economy and building it back up is what was really on my mind when taking a look at senatorial candidates and definitely for our candidate here at Atacalvo.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and enjoy the rest of the evening. We have a long night ahead of us.
Yes.
So stay with KUAM as we bring you the latest election results. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Okay, so more of villages continue to be processed right now. There you go. I see my friends from Humatak right there. And Malesu. Humatak is the... Malesu just literally walked out of the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse right now here at Election Central. 2 precincts from Barragata are done. 2 from Jigo. If you voted at Dominican school today, that precinct has completed their balloting. Haget just completed 1. Inalahan completed 2. So the activity is very, very consistent here, and the precinct volunteers doing some really good work. All right, I also want to introduce you to some new friends of mine who I just met. These are wonderful ladies joining us right now from Palau, and they're with the Palau Election Commission. Hafaday, ladies, Ali. All right, and also our friends from the Northern Mariana Islands, and they're joining us, observing how Guam does elections right now. Hey, buenas, tiro. All right. So it's a family thing right here from the Pacific, right? Lots of good things happening right now, and again, results expected any moment now, right? But when the clock hit 8 earlier this evening, not only did the polls close, but the exit poll, which is always a really, really big deal and really a point of great conversation in our island community, that was also released. Don Sulat is standing by with Dr. Ron McNinch, who conducted the poll, and Don is going to find out the analysis and all about the exit poll. Don?
Thank you so much, Jace. Hafaday, everyone. Don Sula here at the OG Fieldhouse. I'm joined with Dr. Ron McNinch. Doc, you and your students, big kudos to you guys. You guys were out on the field this morning conducting the exit polls. I have the results right here on my phone, you too. And it's a very interesting poll, to say the least. And it's a very kind of surprising poll. We were talking before we went live off camera about some of the results of the exit poll. And again, folks, that's the poll shows that Terlahi Perez at 53%, Tenorio Barnes' ticket at 37% for the Democrats, and the ticket of San Agustin and San Nicolas at 10%. Meanwhile, the Republican side, we have for the gubernatorial race, Blas Ocada ticket at 99%, oh, excuse me, at 99 voters at 33%, and Ada Calvo at 168 voters at 67% of that race. So, Doc, and again, folks, this is premature. This is just the exit poll. We are still waiting for the official results to come out. But, Doc, can you give us more detail about this? And again, special shout out to your students for conducting this exit poll.
Thank you so much. And our students talked to about 600 people today. So 30 students went out and collected this data, and it's a great way for our students to connect with the community. I hope in that maybe the coming week, KUAM might be able to pull some of them in to talk to them about their experiences with it. That'd be kind of fun to do too. I wanted to mention very quickly, nobody else has talked about this in a long time. I started this exit poll process in the year 2000 because of Marie Calvo and Sabrina's Silas Montanane at that time, said, let's figure out something to do while we're waiting for the results to come out. And so actually, these exit poll formats have a KUAM kind of foundation, which I thought I'd just share with you. A lot of people don't know about.
Oh, it's great to hear the history of the exit poll.
Right. And so we developed the exit poll just to kind of keep people going so they had things to talk about. And I probably, there are people talking about our exit poll now. And one key thing is exit polls are simply methods that are commonly used. They're not always perfect. This exit poll, we only talk to people in the morning, so that's one limitation. There's a lot of early voting or office voting that can throw these things off a little bit. And also, there's a long disclaimer we had to put on the exit poll this year, which might slow things down a little bit. And so about 20% of people didn't complete the exit poll. And so there's some limitations. That's the first thing I want to mention to the public, because this exit poll may not be perfect. It may be off. We haven't been really off in the past, but I'm just saying there's always a possibility. And we have had some very close races in the exit poll, but really the office voting actually made the gaps very, very much larger. And so I was surprised by this exit poll. I was surprised by the results.
Same here. And we, in the past, when you did your first, I interviewed you initially a few weeks ago when your students did initially before the primary election, and we talked candidly about the Tenorio Barnes ticket and recent controversy too. Do you think, and you're no stranger to political analysis too, but do you think that the recent controversy during the rallies actually had a hand in this sway in numbers actually?
It may have. I don't know. But I can say that early on when you helped us cover the first poll, you're one of the few groups, KUAM was one of the few media outlets to really cover that poll. People were surprised, and they're saying, no way, there's no way that these gaps can exist like this. But these are scientific methods. We follow them fairly closely, and we'll see if it'll play out that way. I think that in general, I'm often surprised, because here's the key thing. We can assume we know things and not really know them until we study them, until we use an empirical method or a method by observing and measuring. And that's what this kind of poll does. But this kind of poll does have its limits. And I know that everyone was saying, oh, Terlaje and Perez don't have a chance. Really, that's literally what people said. You know, ready for this? They told Donald Trump he didn't have a chance either, right? So, and by the way, if Jimmy Carter can get elected to be president, or if Ronald Reagan can get elected to be president, anything can happen in politics. If I can get elected to the school board, anything can happen in politics, right? So that's the thing we need to remember about politics, is that if you want to know what people think of you, run for office. It's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it. And so my hat's off to all these candidates who jump into their arena. We call it the arena in the study of politics. They jump into their arena like gladiators and they fight it out. It's not easy. And you can't make everybody happy in politics. Everyone's saying, oh, we're not happy with the governor. Guess what? There's been no governor of Guam. I've been here 30 years. There's been no governor of Guam in the last 30 years who've made even a third of the people happy at any given time. It's a nearly impossible task to make people happy. And so, but we'll see where these play out. I have to say, I was not surprised by the Republican delegate race. That's been a pretty standard race. I was not surprised at the numbers on the gubernatorial Democrat side with St. Augustine and St. Nicholas. Those are fairly common. The thing that did surprise me was the Terlaje Tenorio numbers. That surprised me a lot. I thought, wow, that, and we'll see if it holds or not. And it may not hold. That's the other key thing I want to mention is there may be dynamics that happened at the last minute that then will compress that gap and make it a much closer race. And so we don't know that yet. And then the other thing is just the Ada and Blas race. That was probably the most polite and friendly political race I've ever seen, because I think that they have a genuine respect for each other, and it's always hard to run against your peers when you strongly respect them. And so that was the nice thing about that campaign. And so I don't know, I've had a lot of surprises with this election.
Right, and to shift it over into more intricacies now into the exit poll. You mentioned it briefly, 600 voters, half men, half women, 300 Democrats, 300 Republicans that were interviewed. But the team and I, we were out this morning together with your students, and we're one thing I noticed while doing our coverage in the central part of the island was really in the morning to the early afternoon was the voter turnout. And I was speaking to some of my colleagues over here at the Cabo Fieldhouse too, of how actually low the turnout appeared to be. Do you think that that could also play a factor? Did we also look into the age bracket too of the folks surveyed on the exit poll, that perhaps that's why the numbers are the way they are?
Well, age can always have an effect, and we noted this when we did our previous poll that Terlaje and Paris do have a younger demographic. The unfortunate part about that is younger people don't always vote, and so they talk and they get on social media. Having a social media presence is not the same as having a voting presence. So that's one point. The other point is just Guam actually has a very robust voting numbers. We think it's low, 40% is low. No, actually, you look at the rest of the U.S., we're very high. And in fact, I think if we looked at it longitudinally, that is over time, if you look at the Guam Election Commission reports, which are very, very good documents, they can give a lot of good information. We've traditionally had very, very, very high voting output rates. Here's the thing I believe has happened in recent years, though, with Guam. I think that this early voting and office voting effect has lowered our voting numbers for a number of reasons. I think that having it drawn out like that, rather than having everybody on one day, concentrated, all hands on deck. And I went to, I live in Manguilao, right by the university. I went to the GW site there. So at GW, I walked in, and by the way, Manguilao is like the third or fourth largest village on Guam. In the entire village, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon today, there were 10 people voting. In the entire gymnasium of, I think only about 10. I purposefully counted them. By the way, I wanted to mention something really quickly. I love these nice voting stickers those kids did. They had like several different kinds. I made sure to get one. But I absolutely believe that we need to review whether it's healthy or not for us to have an extended voting frame. Because here's the question, and I don't mean to mean this in the negative sense. The thing that happened that got people upset in the week before the election, well, a lot of people had already voted by then. What do you do when you vote and then you want to change your mind by the time election day happens? Or you want to even double down and encourage others, you want to change your mind for the other reason. I mean, there's all kinds of dynamics we need to really have a healthy conversation on, because voting is so dang important, and making sure that our young people have a tradition of voting, that we're showing young people what it's like to go to the polls. The day my daughter turned 18, I took her down to the election commission. She wanted to go, registered to vote, took the picture, and because it was a social media thing, all of her friends then enrolled to vote or signed up to vote. There's something to that.
Right. And again, ladies and gentlemen, today really is the day. Again, polls closed at 8 p.m., but now it is still anyone's race at this point. We're 13 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and we'll continue we'll continue covering everything, and the night will still continue. We have a long night ahead of us, Dr. McNitch. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and throw it to our team over at the camps as they continue the election coverage.
Day, we're now here at the Blas Okada camp in Hagåtña, and joining me now is Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and his running mate, Dr. Mary Okada. We're still waiting for the results to come in, and the night is still young, but how are you guys feeling about the race so far under the Republican ticket for the gubernatorial race?
Well, first off, thank you to all our supporters. Thank you for all those the individuals, the people that voted for us. We put it all out there. We ran a very clean campaign. We ran a very focused campaign. And it is just our hope, and we pray that as a result of this, we will prevail tonight.
So how I'm feeling. So right now, I think that we actually had an opportunity to see how our team worked. And the members of our team did a fantastic job. What's most important for us is that we didn't just bring a group of individuals together. We actually brought people into our family, and we are very appreciative of all their support that they've given us, their commitment over the past several months. And so we feel really good about the team that we built, and we feel really good about their commitment and support through this process.
Right, and you guys are currently in a two-way race under the Republican ticket, and you guys are going head-to-head with the Vice Speaker, Tony Ada, and his running mate, E.J. Calvo. And I do want to note, as we're continuing to wait for the first batch of results, there was an exit poll that was released earlier tonight where your opponents, challengers, Tony Ada and E.J. Calvo, received 67% of the votes of the exit poll, and while you guys have received 33%. Can I just get your guys' thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, it was a snapshot in time. Okay, it was a time early in the day for the voting, and it was of course, random number of individuals, but more so, I think that one of the things that it missed out was the number of voters, people that came out to vote prior to August 1st. Okay, and there was more traffic that occurred in the precincts later on in the day. So again, we'll take it as it is, and that's what it was at that point in time. There's nothing for us to be overly concerned about because we're confident in what we were able to do, and we still believe that we will prevail.
And Dr. Okada, if you want to add your thoughts on it.
So I think right now polls are taken, like the speaker said, polls are taken as a snapshot in time. And, there were several polls that were issued throughout this campaign trail. Some of them we did well, some of them we trailed behind. The real poll is when the results come in, when the final results come in. And so we look forward to the final results.
Right, and the voters will have the final say for who advances to the November general election. And I do want to know, while we are currently in a secluded room right now, you have a lot of supporters out there here in your camp. Do you have any message to them as you guys look forward to the results tonight?
Well, first off, Mary and I want to say thank you very, very much for all those who came out and openly supported us, and for those individuals that wanted to be able to contribute a little bit more of their time and their effort, but still, hopefully they went out to vote too as well. It's been a very exciting and for us, very revealing campaign, because people want change, and our supporters were very passionate. And they believe in Mary and I and the kind of government that if we are successful, the kind of government that we want to be able to bring, and that's a government brought back to the people. And so with our supporters and for all of those who voted for us, thank you. Okay? but you know, for all, everything that you were able to do for us.
And there were a lot of folks that guided us along the way, and a lot of support from our immediate family, our spouses, our children, and so we're grateful for them. But there are a lot of people that are rooting for us, near, far, family from afar, and so we're very grateful for all of their support. More importantly, we are grateful for the people of Guam. This is my first time, so I'm very appreciative of all the conversations. I feel what the people feel in many of the comments that they've made, and I really look forward in any capacity to contribute back to the island, or continuing to contribute back to the island of Guam. Guam is our home. Guam is where we live, and I think everybody wants things changed. Certain things, there are things that they want exchanged, right away, because they're feeling some hardships, and I think we need to really take a look at what it is that is making people uncomfortable, making them unhappy, and and do things small, do things, make efforts, make plans, and make the big changes that people are expecting.
Thank you both so much, and good luck to you both in this race. And we hope to hear more from you tonight as we continue to cover the race.
I'm going to talk about
slowly see those results.
We got some we got some comments, and I'll talk about that.
For now, I'm Mitsuki Hirayama here with Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada. Back to you guys at UOG Central.
All right, good stuff happening throughout the island on election night. You're watching KUAM's continuing coverage of Decision 2026, the primary election, and we're going to go out to the field in just another moment, but I wanted to tell you guys, we are reading your comments in our YouTube live stream right now. Yes, everybody's asking about the results. As you can see behind me, the members of the GEC, our vendor, Electronic Systems and Software, and the voter registrars. There are some members of the GEC's board right now getting those manila envelopes. That's usually a step, the last step before a batch of ballots is processed. Now, at the GEC's board meeting the other night, they actually indicated that they want to get a batch of results out because they realize that not a lot of people are going to stay up all night. So they at least want to get a few batch of results out. People can maybe see some prospective results. They initially said when 10 precincts are in and finally counted, they want to release the first ballot. They've actually extended that now to when we hit 15. And remember, there are only 57 voting precincts on Guam for tonight's primary election. Now, some of you eagle-eyed election followers may notice that last year we had, or 2 years ago, we had like between 67 and 69 precincts. Those have been consolidated. One of the party representatives was just telling me that that's now down to 57 due to consolidation. So interesting there. So we are reading your comments. Please keep your comments coming in on our YouTube and Facebook live streams. Yes, well, we are going to have the results hopefully very, very soon. Thank you, KUAM. Any update results? Yes, very soon. And eagerly waiting for the results. So these are really, really good. All right, I do want to talk about what Don was talking about with Dr. Ron McNinch on this exit poll. You saw Mitsuki was talking to Frank Blas and Mary Okada right now. By way of that exit poll, it is a just sampling of 600 of your registered voters when they were done filling out their ballots. Now remember, that is an equal number Democrats and Republicans, an equal number male and female. And according to that exit poll, 53.5% goes to the team of Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez. 37% goes to Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, and 10% goes to Senator Joe San Augustine and former Senator Dwayne Sinaloa. Again, those are the exit poll results. For the Republican Party, 67% go to Tony Atta and EJ Calvo, and 33% of the exit poll results. These are not the official results yet, by way of 600 of your fellow voters who were polled today as they left the voting precincts. 67% to Atta Calvo, 33% go to Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada. Okay. Let's go back out now to the camps where we have some senatorial candidates who are standing by to share their Super Saturday experiences.
Hafaday Guam, coming to you from the Atta Calvo campaign. Once again here in Hagåtña, I'm Nevaeh Anderson, joined by senatorial candidate Will Castro. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, thank you. It's a long day.
Yes, long day, long night. So this year there are over 30 candidates running for senator and vying for a seat in the People's House. How do you feel to be a part of that group of people who are trying to step up to lead Guam into a better future?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a really good slate of candidates on both sides. A lot of very well qualified people out there. So it just felt good. It was good vibes out there. I ran into quite a few senatorial candidates on the trail, and they're very positive. And I went to both the Democrat and Republican camps, all of their camps actually. It's just good. It's good to see some of the former senators coming back and running. And I'm extremely thrilled that you have a whole bunch of new candidates. It takes a lot to run for elected office, and so for all the candidates who stepped up, God bless you and thank you for serving your island.
And as well, should you make it through this primary election and onto the general election and hopefully into office come January, what is your first priority once you get into that seat?
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually a teacher and a principal right now, and so my first priority is going to be education. And many people, the people I serve, are dealing with a high cost of living. So it'll be education, the cost of living, the Malumkos, persons with disabilities, and especially the revitalization of our Chamorro language and culture.
And we're seeing early exit polls from the University of Guam. Have you gotten a chance to look those over?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, in some respects, you're not surprised. In others, you're completely wowed, and it goes to show you the power of the electorate. If there's any truth behind those exit polls in terms of determining the final outcome, I mean, there's so many lessons there to be learned. If you went out on the trail, you could see the difference between a large camp and a very humble camp. You can see the kind of electricity in one camp versus the humility in another. Does that translate? Does that reflect really what's going to happen? And so I was quite astonished at the voter turnout in terms of the exit poll results.
Right, and we also have a lot of supporters coming in as well as the night goes on and as the candidates make their ways to their camps.
Yeah.
What is your message to your supporters who came out today to support you, to vote for, or to participate in the democratic process as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. For all those who came out to vote, thank you so much. Whether you voted for me or voted for someone else, we're so privileged and so blessed to be in this democracy. I could have only hoped and prayed that I got one of your votes. And so if you came out and voted for me, God bless you. I'm looking forward to coming back. I'm looking forward to making a difference. But, let the chips fall where they may. I saw a lot of good friends. I saw a lot of relatives on both sides of the aisle. And of course, those who are related or my friends and who couldn't vote for me because they're voting on the Democrats' side of the ballot, that's okay. I hope to make it to the top 15 tonight. I'll be so blessed. And if I do, I look forward to putting in a lot more time and effort in the campaign. It's a competitive slate. You got really good candidates on both sides. And so I look forward to serving with a new stock of folks in the legislature who can bring some new perspectives, balance with those who've been in there and who are coming back, those who served as senators and those who served in the cabinet. You're seeing quite a few cabinet officials come down. Yes. And I want to serve in the island's capital, so Hagåtña, in the Guam legislature.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Castro, for your time, and best of luck tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Keep with KUAM for the latest election results. Neve Anderson, KUAM News.
Yeah.
Happy day, everyone. Happy election day again. This is Janice Carrasco. Today, I am here with Miss lovely Nediduk. Miss Nediduk. I just love saying your last name. How are you doing today, my dear?
Absolutely wonderful. It's been a beautiful primary election day.
Primary election day, yeah. And how is the energy today? How have you been doing all day today? What have you experienced today? Have people come up to you and talk to you? Tell us a little bit about your experience today.
My very favorite thing about a campaign, and certainly going around on election day, is seeing all the people coming out, and they're taking voting so seriously, and that's what I love, really. I'm a social worker, and so getting people to come out and vote and, share their thoughts and ideas about what their expectations of our leadership is, just makes me so happy to see that our people are doing that. And so today I had a great experience going around the island to the different polling areas and talking to people and hearing what their thoughts and their vision is and their expectations are of the leadership. So I'm always feeling honored and blessed when people are sharing those things with me. And then, of course, coming around tonight and seeing the excitement in the different places, people are just really, I think, looking forward to hearing the results of the election and seeing where we're going to go tomorrow and forward.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What would be your main focus? Because I know you are the woman that does it all and has done it all. What would be your main focus if elected?
Yes, it's exciting because I look forward to seeing what we can do to expand on our program services to our people that are struggling the most and those that are dealing with those issues that are derailing them from really fulfilling their full potential. So we're looking at substance abuse issues, we're looking at untreated behavioral health issues, and so what those issues are, I really want to get to the core of that so we can have policy that's going to be supportive of programs that are going to get right to what these issues are and expand those programs and supportive services.
Absolutely.
I'm also very concerned about our governmental systems. We have a lot of good things that are in place and certainly a lot of great government workers that are making things work, but there's some areas that I think are could use some revisions and updating in terms of our systemic, our systems in government. So I want to take a look at that and see how that's faring and how can we improve so we can be more responsive to our nonprofits, our business community, and certainly to our hardworking governmental employees.
Awesome. Now, if elected, well, let's just go ahead and say, what would you say to your supporters in regards to voting for you?
Well, first of all,
you are very loved. That's for sure. That transpires to the screen.
Because I love our people.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I have that really deep love for them, and I would say, first of all, thank you for going out and voting. I think that's so important. No matter who you vote for, go out there and vote. That's number one. And for those of you that feel like I'm going to be the person that's going to move your agenda forward and going to respond to your needs and the needs of our community, especially the most vulnerable, then a sincere thank you to all of you for that trust. And I will assure you, I'm not going to sit on anything. I'm going to make this happen and push it forward.
Did anybody come up to you while you were in the poll sites and brought up a concern to you? Maybe any ideas that they might have shared with you?
I think, you know, the issues of homelessness are big. Seeing people out on the streets really is bothersome for all of us that live on Guam. It's not necessarily an issue that we have dealt with in the past, but we're certainly dealing with it now. Yeah. So I think that, and people have come to me and said, hey, fix the procurement process. Yeah. So I thank them for sharing that with me.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right, and there we have it. Thank you so much. Tell us what number you are on the ballot.
I'm number 12 on the Democrat side.
All right. And there we have it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night. Follow up with KUAM.
Off a day, we're back here at the Tenora Munya Barnes headquarters, and joining me now is Senator Will Parkinson, who is running for re-election under the Democratic ticket. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm very excited. I flew into Guam this morning from Manila. I was on the red eye last night. I arrived and went straight to the poll. Went to all 21 stations, and here we are today. Very, very little sleep, but very, very excited to see how these results come out.
Yeah, and it's definitely a very important election. And under the Democratic ticket in the senatorial race, I do want to note that it's only you and Senator Chris Barnett who are the sitting incumbents running for re-election now. And there's, you know, how does that make you feel like with this interesting election shaping up?
I feel very excited about it because for me it represents a clean new slate for the Democratic Party for us to be change agents into the future. Any old grievances or animosities of the past I feel can disappear and we can start fresh with a new unified Democratic Party who's ready to take the majority back and really prioritize the people.
Right, right, and speaking of change, with all these senators running in the gubernatorial race, there's going to be 6 seats open in the Guam legislature in the next term for newcomers. What do you make of that in terms of change?
I think that's kind of showing that there is going to be a guaranteed change, that no matter what happens, there are going to be 6 new faces in the legislature. And I think that's a real opportunity for us to regain the majority and prioritize the people in the people's house.
All right. And any other message you want to send out, for example, to your supporters along the campaign trail?
Yeah, I would just first and foremost, like to thank God for all the blessings of my life, and I'd like to thank my wife and my mom for all the support that they've given me. I couldn't have done this without your love behind me. To all my supporters, I truly appreciate all the help that you've given me along the way. I tried to do this once upon a time by myself and I lost. But with your help, I was able to go the distance, and I'm going to continue to need your help. But tonight, I want to just thank everybody for all their help, and I want to thank the people of Guam who voted today. Thank you for caring about your community enough to take your civic responsibility seriously and vote. Use your precious vote to make a change in your community. And I humbly ask that you give me an opportunity in a general election with one of your precious votes. And, good night, everybody. Enjoy the festivities.
All right, thank you so much, Senator Parkinson, and good luck to you in this race.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening as well. Viva Guam!
Back to you guys at Election Central.
Okay, everybody, we're coming to you from this side of Election Central here at the University of Guam Calvo Fieldhouse. Only about 25 minutes ago, I was actually showing you how this place was basically packed. It was shoulder to shoulder with precinct volunteers manually tabulating the votes. Look at the progress right now. There are 1, 2, 3, only 4 more precincts left. Most of the southern villages have completed their tabulations. I know Malesu is completed. We saw 2 different precincts from Talafofo finish. One from Pidi just finished. We are going to have results very, very soon, it looks like. Looking over on the side, we are very, very close. I know you guys have been asking a lot about results, so we are very, very close, everybody. Please do not go anywhere, because KUAM's continuing coverage of the primary election for Decision 2026 will return right after this. We're going to take a little break, and we will be right back right after this.
When the island heat turns up, cool down with Circle K's Frostbites Nugget Ice. Light, airy, and perfectly bite-sized, our crunchy Frostbites melt slower to keep your drinks icy cold longer. Plus, each bag is packed with 5 pounds of frozen crunch. Grab yours on your way home or to the beach today for just $2.25. Circle K Frostbites, exclusively at select 76 Circle K locations.
Sidzo's Maasi to all the sponsors, volunteers, and moviegoers who celebrated our community, our survivors, and honored the journeys of our cancer warriors at the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation's premiere screening of Moana. Guam is good thanks to your generosity, love, and support. Chee-hoo!
The NFL preseason opens in Canton as the Carolina Panthers take on the Arizona Cardinals. It's time to take the next step in the Hall of Fame game on NBC and Peacock.
All right, we're back, everybody. The ballot tabulation machines really doing their job. Remember, those devices from Election Systems and Software, the high volume capacity ones, can do 950 ballots a minute. Take a look off to the maybe 2 o'clock on your digital screen right now. Those are the ballots that have been tabulated. They're putting them in those cages right now, and you can see maybe a little bit further than that, or those are the ballots that have yet to be tabulated. But these machines are very, very fast, and again, they run them through 3 different machines in triplicate to see if there are any discrepancies, to see if any reconciliation needs to be done between them. So results are very, very soon. It looks like we're going to have them real soon, but let's go to Don Sula once again, who's standing by with someone who is a veteran of these elections as a member of the media, former member of the media, as a senator this time, and as a member of the Republican Party, our good friend, Senator Sean Gumentalto.
Thank you so much, Jace, and who better to do a great introduction for Senator Sean Gumentalto, as well as the chair of the Republican Party of Guam. Senator, what can you tell us about this election, in your opinion, too, especially with this primary race? How are we looking for your side of the ticket?
Well, I'll just say first off, I want to thank all of our the leadership of our 19 districts in preparation for the primary election today. As a party, we've been planning for over a year for this, and so I want to give them kudos. Also, I want to give some kudos to our candidates up and down the ballot. Really, the work since the start of the year to kind of get ready has been kind of wide-ranging. And then finally, I think, and probably most important, Don, and we all can appreciate this, is to thank the voters of Guam for getting out and voting. I know the primary sometimes, it's very partisan. People think of it as, is this an important election for me to participate in? It absolutely is, and we want to thank the voters for all their work to get out there today.
Right, and most especially too, I was talking with Dr. McNitch earlier too, and in our newsroom it was also a hot topic regarding the topic of young voters, right? And specifically with the Republican Party, we do have some too in the Democratic Party, but we have young folks vying for a seat in the upcoming 39th Guam legislature. So can you talk to us on how your party's handling, trying to recruit new faces to run and represent the island?
Yeah, for Don, for the party, it's been important for us to try to bring in perspectives, different perspectives. And it's been a long time since we've been able to bring together this group of folks. And, especially on the senatorial side, 18 candidates, it's been a long time since we've done that. Also, the top of the ticket, their engagement of young people, looking at issues related to young people. That's a good thing too, as well as our congressional delegates. So I think for us, the 18 to 25 demographic has been an important group to get to. As we know, folks that are 55 and over, they're participating in these elections, but we need to get our young folks to get out and vote.
Right, and that was something, and I mentioned it earlier in my previous interview with Dr. McNitch too, was really how do we tap into the younger voters? Because for my age demographic and younger, really, and I was mentioning it too, as we were canvassing and we were doing our coverage this early morning into the afternoon, one thing I noticed at least was the turnout. We do see folks of the, like you mentioned, the older generation, the 40-year-old and older voting. But one thing that was kind of irking me as a reporter who actively participates in the democratic process was really folks my age and younger who aren't there. So what strategies are you looking to bring in more young folks to come and vote and run as well?
Well, let's start with the getting out and vote, because I think there's no problem with registering, right? The motor voter's working. The online has allowed more and more people through the gec.guam.gov website to get registered to vote. But Don, I think the biggest thing, not just for the Republican Party of Guam, not just for the Democratic Party of Guam, but it's incumbent on all of us. As this new school year begins, in a couple of weeks, we gotta get to these young people, especially the 18-year-olds that are eligible to vote, before the deadline to register is taking place. Maybe they're not quite registered yet, right? We got to get into the schools. We got to talk about the importance of voting for their representatives across all the different branches of government, but importantly, the importance of why they should do it.
Right, and that's something to appreciate. And right now, we're gonna go ahead and throw it over because we got the votes coming in. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, we have the first batch of results here, everybody. It just literally came off the printer. Pat Seville, the longtime board member, GEC commissioner. All right, and here we have taking a look at the Republican legislature. Whoops. Tell you what, let's start with the Democrat and Lieutenant Governor and Governor race. This is the gubernatorial race. The team of Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez 1,953 votes, slightly edging Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Rose Muñoz Barnes with 1,690. That is 49.6% for Terlahi and Perez, slightly besting Tenorio and Muñoz Barnes, but 42.9%. The team of Senator Joe San Augustine and former Senator Dwayne San Nicolas have 291. And then, of course, in the Democrat race for congressional delegate, Alicia Limtiaco, of course, the former Attorney General for Guam and the CNMI, is running unopposed. She has 2,992 votes. In the gubernatorial race on the Republican side, it is Senator Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo with 1,431 votes. They are in the first position, as Senator Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada have 1,028 votes. So the Atta Calvo team has 58.1% of the votes right now in this first batch of results. They are number one on top of Frank Blas and Mary Okada's 41.7% of the votes. All right, let me recap that real quick again. Starting with the Democrats in the gubernatorial race, Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez, a slight lead over Josh Tenorio and Tina Muñoz Barnes, 1,953 votes for Terlahi and Perez. Slightly above Tenorio and Muñoz Barnes' 1,690. On the Republican side, it is Atta and Calvo having 1,431 votes. They have a slight advantage over the Blas and Okada team, who has 1,028 votes. All right, let's take a look at the Republican legislature race right now. The top vote getter for the Republican legislative race, incumbent Senator Jesse Anderson Lujan, has 1,594 votes. Number two, incumbent Sabrina Salas Matinani has 1,488. Another incumbent, Chris Duenas, has 1,447. Another incumbent, Shelley Calvo, has 1,418. And incumbent Senator Sean Gumatauta, who you just heard talking to our Don Sulat, he has 1,363, followed by fellow incumbent and fellow Republican Vince Borja. He has 1,346. Once again, recapping the top seven, as it were: Jesse Lujan, Sabrina Salas Matinani, Chris Duenas, Shelley Calvo, number 4, Sean Gumatauta, number 5, Vince Borja, number 6, Tello Taitigui, number 7. First-time candidate Ralph Scambaluri has 1,285. He is number 8. Dr. Hoa Wen, the owner of American Medical Center, first-time candidate, longtime physician, with 1,264 votes. Former Senator Luis Borja at number 10. That's right, number 10 with 1,264. John Savares, he has 1,236. Former Senator Will Castro has 1,176 votes, followed by Greg Calvo with 1,065. First-time candidate Mateo Mortera has 977 votes. The 15th spot is Alexander Duenas, 942. Joseph Ariola with 910. Brandon Vera with 825. And then Robert Beneventi at number 18 with 696 votes. Those were the Republicans. Let me give you a chance to look at the Democrats. Now, the top vote getter for the Democrats in the senatorial, remember, 18 candidates on either side of the senatorial primary. Only the top 15 will advance. Here are the 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me read you the top 6 vote getters for the Democrats. Number 1, malfunction once again. Chris Barnett, the top vote getter with 2,750 votes, followed by former Senator Amanda Shelton, looking to come back to the legislature. She has 2,467. Former Senator Tilina Nelson, the former Vice Speaker of the legislature. She has 2,256 to be in the third spot for the Democrats. Former Senator Clint Rigel, looking to come back to the legislature as well. He is in the number 4 spot. Dania Munya-Kinata, she has 2,058 votes. Angel Sablan, Department of Parks and Rec, longtime member of the Guam Mayor's Council. Angel Sablan has 2,049 votes. Those are the top 6. And then number 7 is incumbent Senator Will Parkinson. As I said, he is number 7. Former Police Chief Fred Berdalio, of course, at the Department of Corrections. He is in the number 8 spot. Angela Santos is in number 9 with 1,812 votes. Former Senator Roy Kanata is in the number 10 spot with 1,799. Sarah Thomas Nedadog is 1,774 to finish in number... Sarah Thomas Nedadog, number 12. Callan Perez, the candidate, she has 1,761. Anthony Tyron does a lot for Veterans Affairs. He has 1,555. Joaquin Taidigui, 1,515. Joaquin Cruz, Captain Kin Cruz, he has 1,486. Lillian Guerrero has 1,297 votes. Dave Duenas is at number 17 with 1,283. And then Jerry Yingling is at number 18 for the Democrats, 1,050 votes. Again, I'm going to recap the Democrats really fast. The top 7. Chris Barnett, number 1. Number 2, Amanda Shelton. Number 3, former Senator Talina Nelson. Number 4, former Senator Clint Rigel. Number 5, Donna Munya Kanata. Number 6, Angel Sablan. Number 7, Senator Will Parkinson. Number 8, Fred Bordallo. Number 9, Angela Santos. Number 10, former Senator Roy Kanata. Number 11, Sarah Thomas Nedadog. Number 12, Callan Perez. Number 13, Anthony Tyron. Number 14, Joaquin Taidigui. Number 15, Joaquin Cruz. Number 16, Lillian Guerrero. Number 17, Dave Duenas. And number 18, Jerry Yingling. All right, so if you are just joining us, I want to recap because everybody wants to know what is going on with the race for Adelup again. And we start with the Democrats, as Senator Therese Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez have a very slight lead over Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Rones Munya Barnes. The Terlahi-Perez team has 1,953 votes, 49.6% of the votes for Terlahi Perez, slightly edging Tenorio and Munya Barnes, who have 1,690. That is 42.9% of the votes. For the Republicans, Senator Tony Atta and his running mate EJ Calvo have 1,431 votes. That is 58.1% of the votes, with a slight lead over Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada with 1,028. Oh, okay. All right, everybody, please make sure to check us out while we continue to compile the results. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms. We are at KUAM News. You can check out KUAM.com. We're going to put those results together for you as we continue to compile the results. First batch is in. I can already hear the next batch coming at. Shay, can I borrow that real quick? Okay. One thing we want to point out is everybody wants to know how many precincts this is. Taking a look at these stats. Okay, here we go. 18 of 59 precincts have reported in for that first batch. So that is a lot of votes. That is a lot of precincts. 18 out of 59. Okay, so now we're going to take you back out into the field. Let's go to the Terlahi camp. All right, everybody, please stay tuned because we will be right back with more continuing coverage of the Decision 2026 primary election. The results are in. 18 of 59 voting precincts have now reported in. We still got a few more minutes before Saturday becomes Sunday, everybody, and the action is really starting to ramp up here at Election Central. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
When the island heat turns up, cool down with Circle K's Frostbites Nugget Ice. Light, airy, and perfectly bite-sized, our crunchy Frostbites melt slower to keep your drinks icy cold longer. Plus, each bag is packed with 5 pounds of frozen crunch. Grab yours on your way home or to the beach today for just $2.25. Circle K Frostbites, exclusively at select 76 Circle K locations.
To me, local news is
everything.
Access to information.
That's saying boots on the ground journalism.
Election results, sports results.
Is a trusted source.
Anything that's happening within Guam.
Representation. Something that binds the community together.
Maintaining a strong connection with the community.
And the issues that shape our everyday lives.
I think the real question is, what would happen if we didn't stay connected to a community?
It's really important for us to stay connected to the community.
Because they're the very people we work for.
Everyone wants to know what's happening.
Our community has the most important voices.
We are telling the stories that need to be told. Their challenges and their successes are our own. At the end of the day, it's our community. You're a member of that community and you should care for others.
We are here for the community.
It's part of our mission and our vision here at KUAM.
Every story on KUAM is local.
This week on Sunday Night Baseball, Wilson Contreras and the Red Sox destroys that pitch. Are heading to Los Angeles to take on Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. And it's gone. It's an interleague battle of the East versus the West. What a play on Sunday Night Baseball, only on NBC and Peacock.
We'll just say 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Hafa-day!
We're
We are the KUAM
Sparkies. Here at the Youth Gubernatorial Forum at UOG, hosted by Genesis Ubalta. Let's take a look inside. Let's go!
Okay, so we are here at the UOG Lecture Hall. Now let's go take a look at the booths inside. Come on.
Hafa-day, we're here at the University of Guam. We're the Guam Election Commission, ready to help to give out information on how to vote come this Saturday.
Good day, everyone. My name is Evander de Guzman. I'm here on behalf of the University of Guam. We are just hosting a information booth about all of our programs that we offer here at the university, along with promoting any other material and other events that have impact and trying to reach out for our potential and upcoming students. So we always want to get students prepared as the upcoming semester comes up and ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Holly. I'm Jess, and we're here with Guam Auto Supply. We're here supporting
Hi, my name is Chelsea and I work for GTA Community Relations Team. And I'm Heather. I'm also part of Community Relations. Also, just one more thing I want to add in there. Our GTA Youth Leader program, it launched the beginning of this month. It is open to all local high school students, public and private. So apply. Become a youth leader.
We're here. Now let's go take a look into the actual forum.
To host a gubernatorial forum targeting the youth, the University of Guam.
Thank you so much for joining us. I want to welcome you all to the 2026 Youth Gubernatorial Forum here at the University of Guam.
Good afternoon to everybody. Genesis, when I heard your remarks in talking about youth empowerment, it reminded me of a summit that occurred a few years ago. We convened a summit with...
Good afternoon to all of you here. I am Senator Joe Simpson-Sanowski, and together with my running mate, Senator Dwayne Snickers, we are excited to be here to share our vision for your future.
I'm Teresa Lahi. I'm your senator, former speaker. I'm a lawyer. I was also an educator here at the University of Guam. I'm a businesswoman, and I'm also a mother.
My name is Tony Ann. I'm honored to be here today with my wife, Annette. I'm a proud Army veteran, a small business owner, and had the privilege of serving the people of Guam for 6 terms in the legislature.
Why do you think it's important to vote?
Voting is important because it gives people in this community the power to make a positive impact on issues locally.
Especially because within our youth population, there's been a spark of advocacy when people use their Instagram or socials to talk about the issues they care about. I believe it is vital to take part of the voting because youth are the forefront of change.
Now that we're 18, we're finally eligible to vote. This is our chance to put our words into action.
And Senator Tina Rose Munoz Barnes with 1,690. That is 49.6% for Terlahi and Perez. Slightly besting Tenorio and Munoz Barnes with 42.9%. The team of Senator Joseph Augustine and former Senator Dwayne St. Nicholas have 291. And then, of course, in the Democrat race for congressional delegate, Alicia Limtiaco, of course, the former Attorney General for Guam and the CNMI, is running unopposed. She has 2,992 votes. In the gubernatorial race on the Republican side, it is Senator Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo with 1,431 votes. They are in the first position, as Senator Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada have 1,028 votes. So the Atta-Calvo team has 58.1% of the votes right now in this first batch of votes. They are number one on top of Frank Blas and Mary Okada's 41.7% of the votes. All right, let me recap that real quick again. Starting with the Democrats in the gubernatorial race. Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez, a slight lead over Josh Tenorio and Tina. All right, everybody, welcome back to Election Central now. I hope you can hear that because the ballot tabulation machines there are collating large chunks of ballots. And put it into perspective, do the math, 18 of 59 precincts have now reported in and have completed and reported their votes. We're about a third of the way done, and that's just one batch, everybody. We were telling you that the GEC wanted to give big batches and not have this thing extend very, very late into the night. So we're already about a third of the way done. Let's take a look at the graphics now and show you how that first batch is shaping up. And let's start with the Republican congressional race. Once again, 18 of 59 precincts having reported in. The incumbent, Jim Moylan, has a slight lead over former Senator Mary Torres. Mr. Moylan has 1,395 votes, Mary Torres 990. On the Democrat side, of course, Alicia Limtiaco, the former Attorney General, or the former U.S. Attorney for Guam and the CNMI, running unopposed, so she has 2,992 votes. The gubernatorial race, you just saw the reaction from the Atta-Calvo team. They have a lead of about 420 votes. Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo, 1,431 votes to Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada's 1,028. That is the gubernatorial Republican race. Here is how the Democrat race shapes up. Remember, three teams. It's very, very interesting, as Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez have 1,953 by a hair at this point over Josh Tenorio and Tina Muya Barnes, who have 1,690. Senator Joseph Augustine and former Senator Dwayne St. Nicholas have 291 votes. Pay attention to this race, everyone. This is going to get very, 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 very tight. All right, here is what the senatorial race looks at. Remember, 18 candidates in both the Republican and the Democrats. Let's go through this real quick. The top six: Jesse Anderson Lujan, the incumbent. The first six are all incumbents: Jesse Lujan, Sabrina Salas-Matanani, Chris Duenas, Shelley Calvo, Sean Gumatauta, we just heard from him moments ago with Don, and Vince Borja, 1 through 6. 7 through 12 look like this: Tello Taitigui, she is an incumbent. Ralph Scambalori, the first-time candidate, former leader over at the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency, he is in number 8. Louise Borja looks to return to the legislature. She is in the number 9 spot. Physician Dr. Hoa Wen is number 10. Jonathan Tavares, he is at number 11, a veteran of the U.S. military. And then Will Castro, the former senator, looking to come back to the legislature. He is in number 12. Here are the remaining Republicans. All right, remember, the top 15 will advance to November general election. The bottom 3 are out. Greg Calvo, Mateo Mortera, Alexander Duenas are 13 through 15. And then the remaining 3 at this point, 16 through 18, Joseph Arreola, Brandon Vera, and Robert Benavente. Those are the Republicans. What about the Democrats? Number 1 through 6 shape up like this. Incumbent Chris Barnett, number 1. Former Senator Amanda Shelton, number 2. Former Senator Talina Nelson, number 3. Former Senator Clint Rigel, number 4. First-time candidate Danya Moni Kanata at number 5. And Angel Sablan, number 6. Senator Will Parkinson is at the lucky number 7 spot, followed by former Chief of Police Fred Berdallo, Angela Santos, number 9, former Senator Roy Kanata, number 10, Sarah Thomas Nedadog at 11, and Callum Perez, number 12. The remaining Democrats look like this: Anthony Tyron, 13, Joaquin Taitigui, number 14, and Ken Cruz, number 15. On the outside looking in, at least at this point, with 18, remember, of 59 precincts having reported in, Lillian Guerrero, Dave Duenas, and Jerry Yingling are number 16 through 18. Remember, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. We are at KUAM News on all of our platforms. Make sure to check us out for the very latest results. Let's go now to the camp of Senator Therese Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez about how they are shaping up in their race for the governor.
Hafa day, everyone. Nick Delgado coming to you from Hagåtña. Well, the first batch of results are in, and wow, you should have seen the energy happening here. We did show you a little bit of what candidate for governor, Speaker Teresa Lahi, was like. Excitement, and she's still kind of beaming with that energy.
I'm super excited.
She can't stop smiling.
I'm actually so excited. I talked to Senator Parent, and we're both super excited. This is great news, and I couldn't ask for anything more on the first batch because I just want my supporters to feel like their hard work is really paying off, and that the people of Guam, I just want them to know too that we're working for them. And so thank you for going out to vote. I'm really, really, really grateful.
Again, this is about 18 of 59 precincts, so about a third of the voters that did turn out this primary election day. Your party at 1,953 votes, that's about 49.61% over Sonorio Muñoz Barnes at 1,690, at San Agustin San Nicolas at 291. But again, we were speaking a bit earlier about those exit poll results prior to these results being released, and that was still in your favor.
Yes, that was pretty surprising too, but we were really excited about that.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know, I can hardly breathe. I'm very excited,
well,
but
take a deep breath.
Very happy. And yeah, just very grateful. There's a lot of work that goes into campaigns, and so win or lose, lots of work, lots of thought, lots of heart you got to put in, and not just the candidates, but all of their team behind them, all of their families. So I'm really grateful for all of the help that we've been getting so far, and all the help we got today, and actually encouragement and real love. We just received a lot of love.
It speaks volumes of how you were and how you were represented on the campaign trail this election season. But in your term in the legislature, historically, you were the top vote getter. And so now here you are today. But again, still too close to call, you would say?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna count my chickens before they're hatched, but I'm just excited that we get some good news. Yes, that's great.
And something I did ask of the San Agustin, San Nicolas camp was, imagine day one of you guys being there at Adelude. What would that look like for the people of Guam?
Oh, day one. Whew. I think I'm just going to tell the people as straight as I can on day one what we intend to do and how we intend to do it and who's going to help us get that done.
All right.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right. Yeah. Speaker Teresa Lahi, you saw her, you might have seen her out there at the polls this primary election day, but of course, again, she is up on the first batch of election results that we did see out of the Guam Election Commission over at UOG. We'll continue to watch while we wait for the rest of those results to come out and get you the responses and reactions of those here at the party camp. Is there any final message, or at least for now, that you would like to say to the people?
Just thank you again. Thank you for letting us into your homes to tell us what your issues are. Thank you for talking to us everywhere we go and to tell us what you're struggling with. And thank you for really trusting us and supporting us that we can bring some change that you're going to feel, and that we're going to continue to listen to you. So really, si Zeus Masi, that's what I really want to say. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so far. Right on.
Thank you so far. Thank you so much for your time. We'll catch up with you in a bit later tonight. We'll be watching the results.
Okay.
And we'll be continuing to give you those results and the very latest updates right here on KUAM. For now, I'm Nick Delgado. Back to you.
Hafa day and welcome back, everybody. And you know what? Let me be the first to welcome you to Sunday, because it is after midnight now as KUAM's continuing coverage of the Decision 2026 primary election continues here at Election Central. And this is the Lord's Day. This is the day of rest, but not so much for about the 80 or 90 people working very, very feverishly behind me. There's a lot of work to be done. About 2/3 of the island's ballots have yet to be tabulated. They are working on those right now. The precinct managers and the volunteers, everyone who is counting these ballots by hand, they have all now cleared out. So everything is in the hands, as it were, of these election machines that are being that are processing those batches. We only expect about 2 or 3 batches throughout the night. And if you are a veteran or you've been very interested in Guam elections for a very long time, you remember maybe this would go on until maybe like 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 or 9 in the morning, and there would be maybe like 14, 15, 16 different small little updates of summary reports and to find out what the results were. They're not doing this time. They're batching everything. They're trying to make sure that for all of you watching right now, it is kind of getting late. They want to make sure that you can at least know. And please do make sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms for all of the results. We're posting them right now. None of these races right now is a wash, right? Very, very tight in all the races in the congressional, in the gubernatorial, and in the senatorial. And it is the gubernatorial race, especially for the Republicans, which is of particular interest. And we're going to go out to the Atacalvo camp to find out how they are enjoying their slight lead over Blas Okada at this point.
Hafa Guam coming to you from Hagåtña with gubernatorial candidates Vice Speaker Tony Ada and EJ Calvo. Now we've just gotten the first batch of results in from UOG. 18 out of 59 voting sites have turned in their results. So far, your team has garnered 1,431 votes. That's just over 58% of the votes for the Republican candidates running for governor and lieutenant governor. And you have a lead over your fellow Republican candidates, Blas Okada, yes, with bringing in 1,028 votes. That's 41.7 votes. Your initial thoughts on those numbers?
Well, that's
turning the brightness down a little bit too.
Precincts that have been counted. We're truly humbled and we're blessed that the people have found trust and confidence in us to vote for both EJ and myself. And it's humbling. It's very humbling. All we want to do is do what's right for our island and our people. I think that when you look at the people that came out to vote, could the results be better with more folks coming out to vote? Absolutely, but we don't know what the remaining 2/3 are, and we'll see how the results go, and we'll comment on it as we move forward through tonight.
Of course. Yeah. Mr. Calvo, would you like to comment?
It's still very early, so I think that it's not over till it's over, so we just got to sit tight and look forward to the next batch of precincts coming in.
And this is your first time running for public office, of course, Vice Speaker Ada. You've gone through this battle many times before. How are you feeling going into it as a first-time candidate, and as well as Vice Speaker, how are you going into it running for governor?
Well, I'll say that it's new in terms of just going through the election process, going through the campaign, and of course experiencing an election day like this. But I've been in pressure situations before, and I enjoy challenges. So I think it's been a great experience for me, and of course Senator Tony Ada has made it even better by just leading the way and setting a good example for working hard every day, and just really having your heart in the right place. And we've been planning for this very moment, so I'm very excited.
Share your thoughts on running for governor this time.
It's been a long road. I ran for senator, I ran for lieutenant governor twice, and now coming out running for governor. It's truly humbling because it takes a lot. Not just on a candidate, but on our families and our friends and our supporters. The amount of effort and the work that it takes to run a gubernatorial campaign, we could not have done it without the love and support of our supporters. All the volunteers that come out and help us, and, from our waves to our rallies to our meetings, our village board, our village leaders, everyone has participated in one way or another. We are truly grateful to all of them. They've all put in an effort into this campaign, and this campaign doesn't belong to EJ and I, it belongs to the people, right? It belongs to our supporters, and that's what we're very grateful for. The results this year of their hard work that they put into it.
And lastly, you're one of 5 teams running for Adalu. That's quite a lot of candidates, especially with a lot of them leaving the People's House and coming in to vie for that top spot in our government. How does it feel to be among those individuals wanting to step up to a higher office?
When you see the amount of people that have come out to run for governor, what that is going to do is actually put a whole new set of senators into the open slots came in, and we look forward to seeing what the legislature brings. Does the Republicans hold the majority? Continue to hold the majority? Is it going to be a very slim margin? I think that with that being said, we just got to work with who comes in and see how that works. Because in the end, again, it's always about the people in our island.
I think no matter what, Tony and I have had an approach of working with people and just cooperating and collaborating, and I think we're excited about working with a new legislature. If we are in Guadeloupe, as well as with any of the congressional candidates, I think that's important that we are ready to kind of collaborate and show up for the people and work together instead of bumping heads with each other. So we're excited.
Well, thank you both very much for your time and for you for tuning in. We're going
All right, here's that interview once again with the Ada Calvo team.
Hafa Guam coming to you from Hagåtña with gubernatorial candidates Vice Speaker Tony Ada and EJ Calvo. Now, we've just gotten the first batch of results in from UOG. 18 out of 59 voting sites have turned in their results. So far, your team has garnered 1,431 votes. That's just over 58% of the votes for the Republican candidates running for governor and lieutenant governor. And you have a lead over your fellow Republican candidates, Blas Okada, yes, with bringing in 1,028 votes. That's 41.7% of votes. What are your initial thoughts on those numbers?
Well, that's 1/3 of the total precincts that have been counted. We're truly humbled and we're blessed that the people have found the trust and confidence in us to vote for both EJ and myself. And it's humbling. It's very humbling. All we want to do is do what's right for our island and our people. I think that when you look at the people that came out to vote, could the results be better with more folks coming out to vote? Absolutely, but we don't know what the remaining 2/3 are, and we'll see how the results go, and we'll comment on as we move forward through the night.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mr. Calvo, would you like to comment?
It's still very early, so I think that it's not over till it's over, so we just got to sit tight and look forward to the next batch of precincts coming in.
And this is your first time running for public office. Of course, Vice Speaker Ada, you've gone through this cycle many times before. How are you feeling going into it as a first-time candidate, and as well as Vice Speaker, how are you going into it running for lieutenant governor or for governor?
Well, I'll say that it's new in terms of just going through the election process, going through the campaign, and of course experiencing an election day like this. But I've been in pressure situations before, and I enjoy challenges. So I think it's been a great experience for me, and of course Senator Tony Ada has made it even better by just leading the way and setting a good example for working hard every day, and just really having your heart in the right place. And we've been planning for this very moment, so I'm very excited.
Would you like to share your thoughts on running for governor this time around?
It's been a long road. I ran for senator, I ran for lieutenant governor twice, and now coming out running for governor. It's truly humbling because it takes a lot, not just on a candidate, but on our families and our friends and our supporters. The amount of effort and the work that it takes to run a gubernatorial campaign, we could not have done it without the love and support of our supporters. All the volunteers that have come out and helped us, and from our waves to our rallies to our meetings, our village org, our village leaders, everyone has participated in one way or another. We are truly grateful to all of them. They all put in an effort into this campaign, and this campaign doesn't belong to EJ and I, it belongs to the people, right? It belongs to our supporters, and that's what we're very grateful, and the results is, of their hard work that they put into it.
And lastly, you're one of 5 teams running for Guadeloupe. That's quite a lot of candidates, especially with a lot of them leaving the People's House and coming in to vie for that top spot in our government. How does it feel to be among those individuals wanting to step up to a higher office to lead the island?
When you see the amount of people that have come out to run for governor, what that is going to do is actually put a whole new set of senators into the legislature. 6 open slots came in, and we look forward to seeing what the legislature brings. Does the Republicans hold the majority? Continue to hold the majority? Is it going to be a very slim margin? I think that with that being said, we just got to work with who comes in and see how that works, because in the end, again, it's always about the people in our island.
I think no matter what, Tony and I have had an approach of working with people and just cooperating and collaborating, and I think we're excited about working with a new legislature. If we are in Adelup, as well as with any of the congressional candidates, I think that's important that we are ready to kind of collaborate and show up for the people and work together instead of bumping heads with each other. So we're excited.
Well, thank you both very much for your time and for you for tuning in. We're going to keep bringing you the election results as they come in. As we said earlier, only 1/3 of polling sites have come in with their results. Keep it with KUAM. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
All right, everybody, please keep those comments coming in the YouTube chat. Our chat room is very, very active. Please, we invite you to go and chat with other Guamanians, other people that are really paying attention to this election. Really interesting stuff. Also, thank you for the guys who are pointing out the audio issue. We fixed that. Thank you guys for making us aware of that. All right, now we are going to go back out to the caps. Momentarily, we're going to figure that out, but you want to do results now? Okay, let's go recap the results thus far, starting with the congressional Republican race. If you are just joining us, if you're in the States or you voted remotely, this is how the Republican congressional race is shaping up. The incumbent, Jim Moylan, has 1,395 votes. He is leading Mary Torres with 990 votes. That is the Republican congressional race. As far as the Democrat, Alicia Lim-Tiaco is running unopposed, but she has 2,992 votes. Here is the gubernatorial race. This one really already generating a lot of comments. I was just talking about our YouTube chat room. Please make sure to go in there. We're also live on Facebook. Please make sure to add your thoughts about how this race is shaping up. Gubernatorial Republican side first. Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo with 1,431 votes. They are leading Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada, who have 1,028 votes. That is still pretty tight. Speaking of an incredibly close race now, look at this numbers for the Democrat gubernatorial race. Therese Terlaye and Sabina Perez with 1,953 over Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Mooney Barnes, who have 1,690 votes. Joe San Augustine and Dwayne St. Nicholas have 291. So the margin between the number 1 and the number 2 spot in the gubernatorial Democrat race, very close. And again, remember, 18 of 59 voting precincts have now reported in. That's about a third of the ballots that were cast yesterday in Super Saturday, today already being Sunday. All right, senatorial for you. Let's start with the Republicans real quick, 1 through 6. Jesse Anderson Lujan, Sabrina Salas Matanani, number 2. Number 3, Chris Duenas. Number 4, Shelley Calvo. Number 5, Sean Gumatautau. Number 6, Vince Borja. And number 7, Tello Taidigui. 1 through 7, all incumbents. Number 8 goes to Ralph Scambaluri. Number 9, former Senator Luis Borja. Number 10, first-time candidate and physician Dr. Hoa Wen. Number 11, Jonathan Savares. Number 12, Will Castro. Number 13, Greg Calvo. Number 14, first-time candidate Mateo Mortera. Number 15, Alexander Duenas. 16, Joseph Arreola. 17, Brandon Vera. And number 18, Robert Benavente. Let's take a look at the Democrats right now. Number 1 through 6 go like this. The incumbent, Chris Barnett, looks to make his third senatorial term as he is in the number 1 spot with 2,750 votes, followed by former Senator Amanda Shelton, former Vice Speaker Talina Nelson, former Senator Clint Rigel, first-time candidate Donna Munya Kanata, Angel Sablan at number 6. That is 1 through 6. Number 7 goes to incumbent Will Parkinson, followed by Fred Berdallo at number 8, Angela Santos at number 9, former Senator Roy Kanata at number 10, Sarah Thomas Nedadog at number 11, and number 12 is Callan Perez. The remaining senatorial Democrat candidates look thusly. Anthony Tyron, he works a lot with Veteran Services. He is at the number 13 spot, followed by Kin Taidigui at number 14 from Inalahan. Kin Cruz is number 15. Lillian Guerrero is at number 16. Dave Duenas, number 17. And Jerry Yingling is at number 18. That is how the races for congressional, gubernatorial, and senatorial are shaping up right now, with 18 of the island's 59 voting precincts having reported in. Now, some of you may be wondering, again, 2 years ago we had about 67 voting precincts. The reason why it's now 59, there has been some consolidation. That might have been a reason why the voting registrars finished so early, so there was some consolidation to 59 voting precincts for this election. Let's go back now out to the field where my colleagues from the KUAM newsroom are standing by with some of the camps.
Everyone's good. Everyone's rolling. Are we good?
Are we good?
Okay, we're good on our end.
Okay. Test. Yes.
All right, Senator Munya Barnes, the first batch of results came out, and there is a 7% gap between you and the leading team of Sherlahi Paris. What was your reaction to that?
You know, as an athlete, the game's not over. We still got many precincts that need to come in. I just want to take the time to thank all our supporters and the voters who spent countless hours helping our team. I'm a very optimistic person, and I think that as long as there's precincts out there that haven't turned in their ballots, we'll just wait for them. Until that time, I'm still very confident that we can pull this. You know, we're hoping that the other villages that come in are the great supporters for Let's Go Guam.
And can we also get your thoughts on the senatorial race so far?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Can we get your thoughts on the senatorial race so far?
Well, I'm very happy to see the results in. You know that there's on the Democrat side. We know that there's 4 of us out, so we know that we're going to get more Democrat. We have Democrat candidates out there that are very good, and I'm very hopeful that we can get a majority. So I'm really excited. But I want to thank the voters again out there who took the time to come out and vote today. And you know, this is just the start of the 2026 campaign, this primary, and we have the November 3rd election to look up to for the general election.
I do have to ask, what was it, throughout the whole day that you and Lieutenant Governor were going around, how has that atmosphere been, seeing the voters, going out to the polls to vote? What was that like for you, even the turnout?
Well, you know what? I was very humbled at the fact that in all the villages, our team with Tenorio Munya Barnes, our volunteers were out there. And again, I want to extend my own Donkuluna Situas Masi for all the work our volunteers have done to help support the Tenorio Munya Barnes team. I'm very, very grateful for their hard work, and I have faith that we're gonna win this.
So as I mentioned that the first batch has come in and 7% down, and you said that it's still coming in. Are you confident that those numbers will change by the end of the night?
I'm very confident that those numbers are going to change, and I'm going to continue to stay optimistic, and that's the kind of person I am. Very optimistic and with a lot of faith. We're going to move forward.
And I do have to ask that, in the terms of the atmosphere and the voter turnout, what was that like for you? Especially being out there, what was the voter turnout seeing on your end?
Well, we know that in some of the villages they were a little bit slow. They're slow, but that doesn't stop our community of coming out and exercising their right to vote. And I'm just very appreciative for those who did take the time to come out and vote.
And Senator, I know it's only our first batch of results that are in, but 7% is not a small margin. How are you feeling about it, and what makes you feel confident that the things will turn?
7% for me is still very small because we have all these other precincts that need to come in, and I just want to say, as an athlete, the game is never over until the last out is made. And as a softball athlete, I take that in an optimistic way. And I know that our team will lead us to victory. So I'm waiting for the votes to come in.
I know Josh Tenorio is not here right now, but how is the Lieutenant Governor feeling? Has he shared with you how he felt?
Well, when I spoke to him earlier, he said that he was really excited, and we were going to meet down here because we've got a lot of our supporters and volunteers out there cheering us on, and we're just still very, very excited. And again, thanking our supporters for literally the countless hours that they've done to volunteer, to work the phone banks and just to do work with us for this journey to victory for the 2026 campaign.
And then speaking again on the voter turnouts, particularly for the younger generation, I know that was something that that was definitely quite a discussion, and having more voters of the younger generation coming in. Did you see any of them coming in personally, coming to the polls?
When I was in the village of Manila, I did see a number of the younger generation come in, and I think that's really something that we can continue to work on, is having the younger generation exercise their right to vote. But we also got to bring the awareness out, and we also got to reach out, do the outreaches into the different villages so that we can convince the younger generation to come out and vote in the general election on November 3rd.
Well, regardless of how the results may come out at the end of the night, what do you want the island community to know about from your campaign?
That we're ready to serve, and we give our hearts to our people of Guam, and we're going to fight for them.
Okay, guys, let's start wrapping up with Shane.
Oh, Senator, I just had a question about if you had any reaction or response to the exit poll done by UOG, Mr. McNinch, and I'm wondering if you had a similar reaction to that as you do these first.
Well, you know, I'm like I said, as one who's been in this position before, I don't quit and I don't give up. I'm still very excited. I have a lot of our supporters that are out there for Tenorio and Munya Barnes, and I think that we can literally get the votes that we need to overtake them. And like I said, in every game, the game is never over until the last out is made. That's the athlete in me. God bless you. Take care.
Half a day, everyone. It's Janice Carrasco. I am here at the Terlahi Perez camp with Angela Santos. We just got the first round of the batch, and you are top 15.
Yes,
what do you have to say about that?
I'm very ecstatic, but I'm also humbled by it because it's been a lot of work, right? And I hadn't stopped. And the one advice that I got throughout the whole way since I first ran in 22, I mean, it's my second time, because I ran first in 2006. So when I got back in 2022, every other person told me, and especially our Manina said, don't stop. If this is what you want to do, don't stop. And I haven't stopped. So it's heartwarming, right? And it's especially here at this camp, and especially for the position that Teresa and Sabina are running for in this leadership, for our island, for our people, and just being here, it's heartwarming, right? It's very humbling.
And it's a blessing.
And it's a blessing.
It's a blessing to be here with you and experience this with you.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to your supporters?
And Sainamasi, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Nothing's stopping us. If it's about the people truly, they will know. God will make it happen. And I've led everything to God. Sainamasi. Sainamasi. Sainamasi.
And we'll leave you with that emotional note. We'll keep following up with you throughout the night. Stay tuned with us here at KUAM. I'm Janice Carrasco.
Thank you.
In 3, 2, and
Nevaeh Anderson coming to you from the Atacalvo camp with senatorial candidate Ralph Scambaluri. How are you feeling tonight going into this primary election, and just having heard that you're one of the highest, you're one of the candidates receiving the highest amount of votes on the Republican side of the senatorial race?
I'm very humble. I am in that position, and it only happens because the support of my friends, family, and the people of Guam, and that only happens with the support that I have with people behind me. There's many people to thank: my family, my sisters, everyone in Guam, and we're still halfway, and hopefully I increase my numbers, and I will work hard for the people of Guam.
And coming into this race, there are over 30 candidates going for a spot at the People's House. How do you feel to be a part of such a large group of people wanting to offer themselves up to serve the people?
Well, of course, my platform is law enforcement, and I need to step up and stop and combat these issues concerning crime. And enough is enough; it has to be stopped. And me being in that position as apparently, if I make it, I will work hard for the people of Guam to keep them safe.
And given that law public safety your platform highlights, what is one way that you plan to improve that sector of our government?
Well, if I'm elected, my first thing I will execute is I'm going to pen a letter to the incoming governor to declare Guam as a state of emergency to combat this issue concerning the methamphetamine crisis here in Guam. It affects practically all government agents and the people of Guam also too. The high rate of crimes, and it's a vast amount of things that needs to be done. And I think with a sole concentration of that issue that I'll have with the governor and the 14 other senators coming in, and we work collectively together, I think we could curb that issue here in Guam.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck to you as the night goes on and as we bring you more election results here on KUAM.
Thank you. Thank you, Guam.
Democrat gubernatorial race. Things are really starting to heat up here, everybody, and it sounds like the machines and it looks like the people are putting together another batch of results. So please stay with us because it's Sunday morning. Happy Sunday to you, and KUAM's continuing coverage of the Decision 2026 primary election will continue right here from Election Central at the University of Guam when we return.
When the island heat turns up, cool down with Circle K's Frostbites Nugget Ice. Light, airy, and perfectly bite-sized, our crunchy Frostbites melt slower to keep your drinks icy cold longer. Plus, each bag is packed with 5 pounds of frozen crunch. Grab yours on your way home or to the beach today for just $2.25. Circle K Frostbites, exclusively at select 76 Circle K locations.
Si Diyos Maasi to all the sponsors, volunteers, and moviegoers who celebrated our community, our survivors, and honored the journeys of our cancer warriors at the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation's premiere screening of Moana. Guam is good thanks to your generosity, love, and support. Chee-hoo!
Preseason opens in Canton as the Carolina Panthers take on the Arizona Cardinals take the next step in the Hall of Fame game on NBC and Peacock.
To me, local news is
everything. Access to information.
That's saying boots on the ground journalism.
Election results, sports results.
Is a trusted source.
Anything that's happening within Guam.
Representation. Something that binds the community together.
Maintaining a strong connection with the community.
And the issues that shape our everyday lives.
I think the real question is, what would happen if we didn't stay connected to a community?
It's really important for us to stay connected to the community.
Because they're the very people we work for.
Everyone wants to know what's happening.
Our community has the most important voices.
We are telling the stories that need to be told. Their challenges and their successes are our own. At the end of the day, it's our community. You're a member of that community and you should care for others.
We are here for the community. It's part of our mission and our vision here at KUAM.
Every story on KUAM is local. With Guam's primary election set to kick off, one local opinion piece is sparking an important conversation within the freely associated states community. In a recent column, longtime community advocate John Howard urged Chuukese and all FAS U.S. born citizens who are eligible to vote to make their voices heard at the ballot box.
The title is our voice, our vote, our future. Yeah. So in order to voice our concerns, then we have to vote. That's the best way to exercise our voice, to be able to participate in the election process.
Why do we feel the need now for our young FAS who were born here in Guam, now eligible U.S. citizens, who can now have the power to vote? Why now?
Well, we have like I said, the number is increasing. I get the data from the U.S. Census that just the FSM population alone, we are like 10% of the overall Guam population, right?
Howard says the article wasn't just about one community. It was about reminding every FAS U.S. born citizen living on Guam that voting is more than a right. It's an opportunity to help shape policies that directly impact their families, their communities, and future generations.
Well, I just want to encourage the FSM U.S. citizens to, rights, that you can be able to participate in the Guam's election. Know the candidates, understand their platform, and vote for those that are willing to sit down with us, with our FSM community and understand and willing to help progress our community forward.
For Howard, this conversation goes beyond a single election. It's about ensuring the voices of FAS communities are heard, represented, and included in the decisions that affect their everyday lives. For KUAM News and the One Mic News Show, I'm Victorious Flan. We're getting ahead of the ballot.
My name is Gregorio Salas Calvo. I'm running under the Republican banner.
My name is Joaquin Paulino Taitegui. I'm running on the Democratic Party.
Sarah Thomas Nedaduk, Democrat.
Can you share one book recommendation or something everyone should read?
Okay, that's easy. Oh, I opened the Word of God, the Bible.
My Own Words by Associate Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
The Road Less Traveled, and Scott Peck. It was life-changing for me.
The Chicken Kelguin.
Chicken Penang.
Filipino food.
My late mother told me to always be in service of other people.
Having a family is really the essence of what life is all about.
Not to judge people from your first meeting with them.
I love driving around the island, meeting up again with friends.
Music and getting together with family and close friends.
I like hanging out with my friends and just catching up at the end of a workday.
Abuse and neglect of our children, of our manumku, our elderly, and our persons with disabilities.
Government procurement.
Standing for the unborn.
I'm pretty much an open book. If you want to know, just go ahead and ask me.
I'm half Filipino and half African American.
Guam had the highest participation in the electorate per 100,000 per capita in the United States back then. When we began to lose it, we must stand up. We must reverse what is that trend today.
The clock is ticking with just 79 days away until the primary election, and so you too, my friends, are on the clock to make your choice for who will lead our beloved island into the future. Half a day to you and your family, everyone. I'm Jason Salas, and welcome to The Hub. And this is a very, very special edition, the maiden voyage, in fact, of our Decision 2026 election season weekly rundown of the people, the places, the personalities, the pressing issues, and public matters that you will need leading up to August 1st, which is the primary. We would like to hear from them in their own voices about why you should consider them when you head to your voting precinct on August 1st, which is the primary. It's earlier this year. And for 60 seconds each, we'd like to give each of these candidates a chance to make their final pitch. And we start with Sarah Thomas Nedaduk.
Thank you, Jason. For over 40 years, I've worked with the most vulnerable populations on our island, with our troubled youth, with our folks that have been living on the streets and in poverty and homelessness, as well as working with our people who have succumbed to substance abuse and have untreated behavioral health issues. These are all very important areas that I think really need to be addressed at the legislative level, and to also give resources to our various communities and governmental and nonprofit agencies to wrestle with these problems, because our human capital are our most precious, as of course is our land. But I'm very concerned that we need to take a look at what programs, preventative programs, treatment programs that we haven't done, and we need to work with our total community, because I think that's really where our answers are going to be, in our families and in our villages.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Gregorio Calvo, you have 60 seconds, sir.
Well, I think in terms of my age, 79 years of age, and a burden is, I've felt a burden in my heart for many years now, that somebody has to stand up for the unborn. 33,000 babies have been aborted here on the island of Guam, 62 million across the United States. And for 50 years, Roe vs. Wade has dominated our country in what to do about the unborn. Well, sanctity of life is not only a spiritual concept, it's also a fact of life. That's natural, the law of nature. And so I'm standing for the unborn, and of course, along the way, the traditional family, the strengthening of the family as the basic unit of society. That's what I stand for. Thank you.
Very well. Okay, and first-time candidate in Joaquin Tadigui. Probably a lot of people, their first time hearing from you, so we'd like to hear from you directly on why they should consider you.
Yes, so I'm Joaquin Paulino Tadigui, proud son of Inalahan. The reason I'm running is I feel it's time for my generation to step up to the plate. A lot of the issues and challenges our island faces is very great. They're almost huge in nature, but they aren't insurmountable. I think our island people, we are so resilient. We recover after every storm. We always come together, and it's about solving government procurement, moving things through the process, and just trying to improve the lives of our people.
All right, well done, each of you. Congratulations to you once again on your candidacy, and best of luck this election season.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Now, at the time he was first elected, Roy Kanata was the youngest Guamanian to ever be elected into the legislature. Roy looks to make it to return as a policymaker as part of the legislative body. He is a Democrat, and in the senatorial race, he is currently at the number 10 spot for the Democrat race. Remember, check out all of the race results on KUAM.com or all of our social media platforms. Roy is standing by right now to talk about how his campaign has been in Decision 26. He's standing by with our Matsuki Hirayama.
Hafade, I'm Matsuki Hirayama here at the Tenora Munya Barnes headquarters in Hagåtña, and joining me now is candidate Roy Kanata. So, Mr. Kanata, you are number 10 so far in the first round of results that came out. How are you feeling now?
We're feeling good. We're waiting for those results to finally flush all our anxieties right now, but we're definitely hopeful that this election, unfortunately it is a very low turnout, but we got to work hard in the general to ensure that we have more voter-based turnout in all the villages from Jigo to Inalahan, and we have a good reflection of our people and their voices collectively, right? And I'd like to, historically recognize that we've continuously had a lower voter turnout. And for me, I think we got to really recognize that we're probably, we're short on our mission, right? We got to work harder to get everyone out, from our nennies to our nanas, our zuzus to our duk-duks. It's very important that we get everyone out from all walks of life, right? Because it's a reflection, our voter turnout is a reflection of our island and what we want to see in our future.
Certainly, and I know the last time we spoke in the last election, right? Unfortunately, you didn't make the cutoff in the last general election, but now you're 10th so far. Are you feeling confident that you will make it through to the November general election this year?
Well, I think it's very early, right? But we're very confident with the people's wishes. I said at the end of the trail that I pass the torch to whoever the people choose, and they've made their voice very loud and clear, right, in that election. So we passed the torch, and I also think that it was just a time for me to rethink, recalibrate, and redeliver myself. So I'm hopeful that stepping up one more time, the people will choose me, and I'll work hard to deliver on my mission to ensure that the next generation inherits opportunity over obstacles.
Right, and obviously we are at the Tenorio Muñoz Barnes camp, and I assume you're in support of them because you are here and you've been here throughout the night. But could you tell me what's the mood of the supporters here so far with the first round of results that are in?
Well, you know, we're very much we're gonna wait until the final count is delivered, right? We're very thankful to each and every one of the people that went out and made sure that their voice was heard today. But we got to work on that voter turnout. Obviously, there's a lot of people who haven't shown up to the polls, but we want to see more voter-based turnout, and we definitely want more votes in our favor, of course.
And I feel like the spirits are still high. I mean, as we're speaking right now, I can hear the music going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully they'll continue to stay here throughout tonight, and hopefully we'll hear more from them as well.
Yeah, we're gonna be here all night, all the way to the crack of dawn if we need to. We're ready. Let's go Guam.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kanata. Back to you guys at UOG Central.
All right, everybody, we have just been told, now you see the legal counsel for the Guam Election Commission, that is, of course, Attorney Vince Camacho. It looks like he is preparing a batch of results. He's handing it out to the members of the Guam Election Commission. The commissioners actually have to look at it, verify it, validate it together as a collective group. Then they distribute it to the media, and then we give it out to you guys. So we expect what would be the second batch of tonight. Remember, the first batch was 18 out of 59. Could we possibly see this this next batch be the second third of the total electorate? We will see in just a few moments. And you know, folks, I've done enough of these elections to know that, like, when things look good and when results look like they're coming out, they're usually coming out. And it does look like the team are ready to push these out. While those results are getting prepared, I also want to make note of something like here. The staff here at the University of Guam, you know, a buddy of mine that I went to UOG with, Jude Kamemo, he's now in the UOG Athletic Hall of Fame. The UOG staff right now, they are kind of hoping that tonight's balloting goes swiftly, because in just 2 days' time, the UOG Cowboy Fieldhouse will be transformed to host the Oceania Volleyball Championships, the very first one. Guam is in the same pool as Palau, Papua New Guinea. And here is Pat Seville. And here is Pat Seville, someone who I've worked with. Thank you, Santa. Very good to see you, sir. All right, here we go. Fresh off the printer and certified by the, validated, I should say, by the Guam Election Commission. This is 36 of 59 ballots having been now accounted for, and we will start with the gubernatorial race for the Republicans. Ada Calvo team continuing their lead. They have 2,943 votes. That is 60.3% of the vote. The team of Senator Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada have 1,932. That is 39.6%. So again, Ada Calvo with 2,943, Blas Okada with 1,932. I want to get the, here we go. The gubernatorial race for the Democrats. It is the team of Terlahi Perez continuing and building upon their lead. They now have 49.2% of the vote. They have 3,736 votes. Josh Tenorio and Tina Muñoz Barnes have 3,220. That is 42.4% of votes. Once again, Terlahi Perez, 3,736. Tenorio Muñoz Barnes, 3,220. The team of Senator Joe San Agustin and former Senator Dwayne San Nicolas have 632 votes. So again, 1 through 3 in the Democrat race. Terlahi Perez with 49.2% of the vote, Tenorio Muñoz Barnes 42.4% of the vote, and San Agustin San Nicolas with 8.3% of the vote. Recapping that, if you're just joining us or you're switching back to our channel, the Ada Calvo team, Tony Ada and EJ Calvo, have 2,943 votes in the Republican gubernatorial race. That is 60.2% of the votes. And Senator Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada have 1,932. Let's take a look at the legislature right now, as I'm going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here are the top 6. Not much as far as the changes in position for the candidates. Number 1 goes to Jesse Anderson Lujan. Number 2, Sabrina Salas Matanani. Number 3, Chris Duenas. Number 4, Shelly Calvo. Number 5, Sean Gumatautau. Number 6, Vince Bora. And number 7, Tello Taitigui. No changes there as far as the top 7. Number 7, Jonathan Savares. Number 8, Ralph Scambaluri. Number 9, Luis Borja. Number 10, Dr. Hoa Wen. Number 11, Will Castro. Number 12, Will Castro, a former senator, of course. Number 12, Gregorio Calvo. Number 13, first-time candidate Mateo Mortera. Number 14, Alexander Duenas. Number 16, beg your pardon, Joseph Ariola. Number 17, Brandon Vera. And number 18, Robert Leon Guerrero. So once again, the top 7, no changes there. They are all incumbents. Jesse Anderson Lujan, number 1. 2, Sabrina Salas Matanani. 3, Chris Duenas. 4, Shelly Calvo. 5, Sean Gumatautau. 6, Vince Borja. And 7, Tello Taitigui. All right, how about for the senatorial race for the Democrats? Let's take a look at the top 7 there. Number 1 remains Chris Barnett in the top spot. He has 5,308 votes. Number 2, former Senator Amanda Shelton. A strong showing by Amanda in this race. Number 3, former Vice Speaker Tilina Nelson. She is at number 3. Former Senator Clint Rigel is number 4. Angel Sablan is number 5. Donna Muñoz-Canata is number 6. And then Senator William Parkinson is number 7. Number 8 goes to Fred Berdallo. Number 9, Roy Kanata. You just heard from him. We just mentioned him. Matsuki just had that interview with him. Roy Kanata has built a little bit upon his vote total. He has moved up from 10 to 9 now. Number 10 now goes to Angela Santos. Number 11, Sarah Thomas Nedadog. Number 12, Callan Perez. Number 13, Anthony Tyron. Number 14, Kin Taitigui. Number 15, Kin Cruz. And 16, 17, and 18 are Lillian Perez, Dave Duenas, and Jerry Yilling, respectively. Let me again read the top 7. Number 1, Chris Barnett. Number 2, Amanda Shelton. Number 3, Tilina Nelson. Number 4, Clint Rigel. Number 5, Angel Sablan. Number 6, Donna Muñoz-Canata. And number 7, Senator Will Parkinson. Once again, that is 36 of 59 precincts have reported in. I was looking across the manual, and I said earlier that all of the precincts had been accounted for, and all of the precinct volunteers had gone home. There is one more precinct. It's a very, very small one. It's only about 4 people. One of them does remain there, and under the guidance of one of the members of the GEC, they were ironing out those discrepancies. That is not uncommon. Usually there is one, maybe a straggler, if you will, like a precinct that ran into a little bit of a problem. It might be something with the ballot or the ovals not being fully shaded, or things of that nature. But they are working on that right now. We're also going to try and find out what village precisely that is for you. But once again, 36 of 59. So we are now at the 2/3 complete mark. Considering it's not even 1 a.m. yet, the night was going very, very quickly. And I haven't said anything about this on the air yet, but at the ballot test run the other day, when the Guam Election Commission's Board of Directors had their final meeting before Super Saturday, they were actually saying, they were like, do you think we can get this done by 2 a.m.? So it looks like they're making very good progress. They're working as a team. They're working very efficiently, but remember, it's better to do it right than to do it fast. They seem to have found that balance between the two. So hats off to the GEC and to their board for pulling this off. Once again, I want to get you up to speed on the gubernatorial race, because everybody has been talking about that. And in the Democrat race, very, very tight race, but Teresa Lahi and Sabina Perez have built upon their lead slightly. They continue to build upon their edge. They're about 500 votes ahead of Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Muñoz-Barnes. The Terlahi Perez team has 3,736. The Tenorio and Muñoz-Barnes team has 3,220. Then the Joe San Agustin, Dwayne San Nicolas team has 632 votes. Now, what about the Republicans in the gubernatorial race with 36 of 59 precincts having reported in now? The team of Tony Atta and EJ Calvo has 2,943. They are building upon their lead. They're about 1,000 votes better than Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada, who have 1,932 to. I do want to find the congressional race. Okay, here we are. For the congressional race, of course, Alicia Limtiaca running unopposed, so she will advance in November general election. But in the Republican race for our non-voting delegate, I should say, to the U.S. House of Representatives, incumbent Jim Moylan continues his lead. He has 2,809 votes. Mary Torres has 1,917. So Jim Moylan has 59.3% of the votes. Mary Torres, the former senator, has 40.5% there. So 36 of 59, everybody. 2/3 of the way done, and I can hear the machines working still really, really hard. My colleague Don Sulat, of course, had a interview maybe about an hour ago with Sean Gumatao. He is, of course, the party representative for the Republican Party of Guam. I'm expecting to get some FaceTime with Robert Hoffman. He's not only the longtime serving mayor of Sinana, he's also a representative for the Democrat Party of Guam. The good mayor is crunching some numbers off there on the side, communicating with his Democrat Party brethren. I hope to speak to him very, very shortly. But again, no movement whatsoever as far as the Democrats go. In the senatorial race, the first 7 spots have not changed at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that for the Guam legislature race, and this is the Republicans. Oops, okay, we're good? All right. Okay, and 1 second, and let me... Okay, so we're going to bring up some graphics now because I don't think anybody could memorize that many numbers, but here we go. Graphic support, it's a wonderful thing, everybody. Here we go. Gubernatorial race for the Republicans, Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo, 2,943. They're about a little bit more than 1,000 votes better than Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mario Cotto of 1,932. On the Democrat side, this is how this one is shaping up. The first batch came in when it was 18, a very, very close race. Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez pulling away slightly. They have about 500 more votes at this point. Then do Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Mooney Barnes, who have 3,220 votes. And then Joe San Augustine and Dwayne San Nicolas have 632. So remember, we're about 2/3 of the way done. Could that final push, that may be some of the island's larger villages. You know, you're talking about your Santaritas, your Jotnyas, some of the Dedido. These are some of the villages that have been known in past elections to really change the composure of some of these races. So keep an eye on this, see how it changes, if at all. All right, senatorial Republican race. As we've been telling you, number 1 through 7, all incumbents. Nothing has changed since the first batch. Jesse Lujan, number 1. Sabrina Salas Matanani, number 2. You would think I would know how to pronounce that name by now. 23 years on the air together. Chris Duenas, number 3. Shelly Calvo, number 4. Sean Gumatao, number 5. Vince Borja, number 6. Tello Tadigui, number 7. As I said, all incumbents for the GOP. Number 8 goes to Jonathan Savares, who has moved up. Ralph Scambaluri. They switched places with John Savares. Ralph Scambaluri, of course, the former leader of the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency for a long time. He is now at number 9. The former Senator Luis Borja is at number 10. The co-owner, I should say, of American Medical Center. Dr. Ho Wen is at number 11. Dr. Wen, of course, was the elected spokesman of the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group during the pandemic. That's when a lot of us got to know Dr. Wen very, very well. Former Senator Will Castro looking to return to the legislature, of which he was a part previously. He is at number 12 with 2,383 votes. 13 through 18 stack up like this. And remember, top 15 will advance. So this is where it gets very, very dicey if there's a lot of movement. 13 to 18 as such. Gregorio Calvo, number 13. Mateo Mortera, number 14. Alexander Duenas, 15. That is the cutoff point. So right now, Joseph Arreola, Brandon Vera, and Robert Benavente, 16 through 18 respectively. They are on the outside looking in. How about in the Democrat race? Only a little bit of movement here as Chris Barnett continues a very, very strong showing. He has 5,300 8 votes to be the top vote getter for the Democrat of the senators. He's looking to begin possibly his third senatorial campaign, or his third senatorial term, I should say. Amanda Shelton at number 2, former Vice Speaker Tingley Nelson at number 3, former Senator Clint Ridgell number 4, Angel Sablan number 5, and Donna Muñoz-Canata number 6. Senator Will Parkinson is at number 7, followed by former Police Chief Fred Bordallo, former Senator Roy Canata. As I said, Roy has moved up from 10 to 9. Angela Santos is at number 10. You heard from her earlier during the interview. Sarah Thomas Nedadog is number 11. Candidate Callan Perez does a lot with entrepreneurship, a lot with youth programs. She is at number 12 with 3,300 votes even. And then 13 to 18, again, 18 candidates in both the Democrat and the Republican. Only top 15 will advance. So Anthony Tyron, Kin Taidigui, and Kin Cruz have made the cut at this point. And again, just like the Democrats, I said, or just like the Republicans, beg your pardon, the Democrats on the outside looking in are 16 through 18, Lillian Guerrero, Dave Duenas, and Jerry Yingling, respectively. All right, so that is what's going on with 36 of 59 precincts having reported in. Again, we keep telling you, please make sure to check out our social media. Please make sure to share with your friends. A lot of folks in the States are now getting up. A lot of our familia in the mainland, possibly people that are serving in the military, serving overseas. Again, thank you for your service. We appreciate each and every one of you. There are kids who have gone off island for college. There are people away on summer vacation. They want to know what's going on with the election, and that's what we're doing right here at Election Central with the GEC and their expert staff working very, very hard. So while they continue to crunch out the ballots, let's go back out to the camps to find out some reactions from some of your candidates.
Celebrate, keep that lead going. Viva Aracalvo! The heart of Guam is with With Tony and DJ, the future is bright. Honesty, integrity, making it right. With Island pride, united we grow. A stronger tomorrow with Aracalvo. Viva Aracalvo! Aracalvo, with pure intention, family man, with true affection, honesty, integrity, respect. We know the heart of Guam is with Aracalvo. With pure intention, family man, with true affection, honesty, integrity, respect. We know the heart of Guam is with Aracalvo.
With 1,932. I want to get the
No, that was.
here we go. The gubernatorial race for the Democrats. It is the
gap
team
is getting
of
bigger.
Terlahi Perez continuing and joining.
All right.
All right, ladies, the second batch. Welcome now, Senator Perez, to the camp. The excitement continues.
Yes, I'm very excited. We're very grateful.
Yeah, we're so grateful to everyone who came out and supported us.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think has been the driving factor on the campaign trail to get those supporters out here to decide ultimately if you guys should be the right pick for Adelude?
Well, we just really tried very hard to articulate why we decided to run, and it was a very, hard decision because it's huge, and but there were just so many people who were continuing to struggle, and we wanted to really help them. So I think they are looking for some hope and some faith, and I'm just glad that they were able. They're able to trust us, and we're very happy for that.
Yeah, this is 36 of 59 of the precincts being reported thus far.
Yeah, I think what people saw was they trusted us, and they continue to put their trust in us because of our records. Our records show that we work hard and we accomplish what we set out to do, and we really want to help change. I think people need it. We're ready for a change, and they see that our team is authentic, and we're really genuine, and we have the integrity to really push for change. And yeah, we are really committed to this. We're committed to this change for our island.
And everyone just joining us right now, this is the reaction, the excitement that started off our interview today. Again, the Turlohi Parish camp at 3,736 votes, or 49.20%, leading against the Tenorio Munya Barnes at 3,220 and St. Augustine St. Nicholas at 632. Again, 36 of 59 of the precincts in thus far. It looks like they're gonna now 2/3 of the way there. Pretty confident this time compared to where we were talking about the first time we interviewed, where that was too close to call. And now?
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling just a little overwhelmed with gratitude. I'm very grateful. This is hard work, not just for us, but for all of our team and all of. And win or lose, we have really enjoyed listening to people, as we have always done in our careers, and talking to them about what exactly do they think the change that we need for Guam. And so we're very confident that we've been working at this for all of our senatorial careers, and we've made good change, but we're really looking forward that if we can make this change on a bigger scale, at a faster scale, that's going to benefit them.
And it's interesting that you said it in that way, Speaker, because I did want to ask also, should you not come out to be the victor, what would you do to continue to provide, support to the people of Guam after all your years in service? So thank you for that. Is there anything else that you would like to add as well, Senator Paris?
Yeah, I just want to thank Senator Therese Turlohi for really stepping up. She's a hard worker, and she's been my role model throughout my senatorial career, and I'm just so humbled and grateful to be by her side, to support her. Yes.
Okay. Well, again, everyone watching here at the Turlohi Parish camp, we still have another batch as we're getting closer to the final results here, the unofficial results for the primary race, but we'll continue to follow those numbers, bring you the reactions and the responses here from Hagåtña. Nick Delgado, back to you.
All right, welcome back to KUAM's continuing coverage of the Decision 2026 primary election, everybody. We are here at Election Central, where hopefully the final batch, there have been 2 right now. Each one of them has been 18. There are 59 voting precincts in all. We are 36 down with about 18 or so to go. We're going to take you out to the gubernatorial camps very, very momentarily. But first, we want to get you up to speed on what the results are in all of the races. And let's start with the congressional race, because people have wondered about how much incumbency matters. It is weighing in Jim Moylan's favor right now, as the incumbent is leading Mary Torres, the former senator, both former senators, I should say, both Moylan and Torres. But Jim Moylan, the incumbent, wants to continue his work in Washington, D.C. as our delegate to Congress. He has 2,806 votes. Mary Torres has 1,917. Remember, that could change as some of the later villages come in, if they are like the swing villages. As far as the congressional Democrat race, Alicia Limtiaco is running unopposed, so she will advance. Remember, you cannot cross over in a primary election. You see the disparity between the number of votes cast for the Democrat ballots as opposed to the Republican ballots. Let's take a look at the gubernatorial race now. As in the Republican, it was Senator Tony Atta and his running mate E.J. Calvo for the Guam national basketball team, longtime businessman. They have 2,943 votes over the Speaker of the 38th Guam Legislature. Very good friends are Tony Atta and Frank Blas Jr. They've spoken very, very highly of each other. They have been very complimentary of each other. Still, they are competitors, and the difference between them about 1,000 votes. As Frank Blas Jr. and his running mate, Dr. Mary Okada, of course, she ran the Guam Community College very, very effectively for many, many years. They have 1,932 votes to Ada and Calvo's 2,943. That has been the story in the Republican side of the gubernatorial race all evening long. The rankings have not changed there. Same story in the Democrat side as we take a look at this. It was very, very close with those first 18 precincts reporting in, but Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez have 3,736 votes. Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Muñoz-Barnes have 3,220 to be number 2. And Joe San Augustine and Dwayne San Nicolas have 632 votes. All right, let's take a look at who the members may be for the forthcoming 39th Guam legislature. We're going to read you number 1 through 6. Jesse Anderson Lujan, number 1. Sabrina Salas Matinani, number 2. Chris Duenas, number 3. Shelley Calvo, number 4. Sean Gumatauta, who you've heard from, he is here tonight. He is representing, of course, the Republican Party of Guam. He is at number 5. And their colleague Vince Borja, currently the chairman of the Committee on Education with 2,657. Telo Taitigui, 2,655 does Senator Taitigui have. She is at number 7. Number 8 goes to Jonathan Tavares. Number 9, Ralph Scambaluri. Number 10 is former Senator Luis Borja, wants to come back. You may remember she introduced public policy, aiding cancer patients and doing a lot of work in healthcare. Speaking of healthcare, the 11th spot goes to Dr. Hoa Nguyen. He has 2,458 votes. Former Senator Will Castro looks to come back into the legislature. He has 2,383. He is at number 12. And then number 13 through 18 go to Gregorio Calvo at number 13, Mateo Mortera at number 14, Alexander Duenas is at 15, Joseph Ariola 16, Brandon Vera 17, and Robert Benavente number 18. In the senatorial race for the Democrats, Chris Barnett continues his dominant campaign this season. Remember, I told you because you cannot cross over in a primary election, you see the disparity between the number of votes cast for the Democrats as opposed to those cast for the Republicans. So Chris Barnett, 5,308 votes. Former Senator Amanda Shelton, number 3, former Senator Nelson, and number 4, former Senator Clint Rigel. Now, we told you that of the 5 gubernatorial teams, of course, you have 10 candidates. You have a governor candidate. You have a lieutenant governor candidate. Of those 10, 6 of them are current sitting senators in the 38th Guam legislature. So there are a lot of vacancies there. So again, number 2, Amanda Shelton. Number 3, Talina Nelson. Number 4, Clint Rigel, all looking to return to the Guam Congress building downtown. Number 5 goes to Angel Sablan. Number 6 goes to Danya Muna Kanata. Number 7, incumbent Will Parkinson. Number 8, Fred Berdallo. Number 9, former Senator Roy Kanata. Number 10, Angela Santos. You heard from her previously. Number 10, Sarah Thomas Nedadog. You also heard from Sarah. Number 12, Callan Perez. And then 13 through 18 shape up like this. Anthony Tyron, Kin Taitigui, Kin Cruz, Lillian Guerrero, Dave Duenas, and Jerry Yingling round out the 18 spots for the Democrats. Now, of course, there are 18 candidates in both the Republican and the Democrat senatorial races. The top 15 will advance to the November general election. Now, remember, these are the ballots that were voted right now. I was talking to Maria Pangilinan, the executive director of the Guam Election Commission, earlier this week about the number of people that came out and did early voting. And she said that even though the pace for this current election, and this is a gubernatorial election, was a little bit less than it was 4 years ago, 5,200 voters that are coming out and casting their votes, still very, very impressive. And good to see that many people were coming out, getting their voting done ahead of time, doing it. The GEC made it. It was at the West End. They incentivized it. They gave you a break on food and drink if you wanted to have a nice meal at the West End. So they made it an experience, and that did pay off because many people did do that. For comparison, my colleague Nick Delgado, who you've seen, he's popped in a bunch of times in our election coverage tonight. When he covered the election 4 years ago, he talked to Maria, and she said that the number of Guamanians that came out and did early voting at that point in that gubernatorial election was about 5,800. So the disparity between the fewer people that did it this time, could it have been because of the election? Could it have been just it's the summertime? It's not the election, the super typhoon from Bavi, beg your pardon. Could that have weighed in with a factor? That remains to be seen. But 5,200 people did go out and vote early. Those ballots, along with the ballots for off-island voters, along with the ballots for the people who voted in home or in the hospital, those will be factored in, because as soon as we're done with tonight's balloting, the members of the GEC, they'll have about usually about a week and a half or 2 weeks, and then they will certify and verify the results from tonight's tallying, and then that will be the final result. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break, but please stay tuned, because we will come back and hopefully we have more results for you, hopefully the last batch of results, so we'll know who you have elected. We're back after this.
When the island heat turns up, cool down with Circle K's Frostbites Nugget Ice. Light, airy, and perfectly bite-sized, our crunchy Frostbites melt slower to keep your drinks icy cold longer. Plus, each bag is packed with 5 pounds of frozen crunch. Grab yours on your way home or to the beach today for just $2.25. Circle K Frostbites, exclusively at select 76 Circle K locations.
Sidzo's Maasi to all the sponsors, volunteers, and moviegoers who celebrated our community, our survivors, and honored the journeys of our cancer warriors at the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation's premiere screening of Moana. Guam is good thanks to your generosity, love, and support. Chee-hoo!
Half a day, we are here at the Blas Okada camp in Hagåtña. Joining me now is Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and of course Dr. Mary Okada. The second batch of results are in, and your team is trailing behind at 39.57% versus Ada Calvo at 60.27%. What's your reaction to the results, the latest results?
Well, you know, first off, it's the will of the voters, but we continue to remain hopeful, and you know, the night's not over with yet. You know, again, we still wait to see how we do in some of the precincts that we know we're going to fare strong in.
And Dr. Mary Okada, you know, it's been you guys been hard at work, months long leading up to this campaign season. Any message you want to send to your supporters who continue to be here and root for you guys?
So what I would like to say to the supporters is, you know, we've come this far, and they've really put a lot of time and effort to support us in this journey, and so we're very grateful for everything that they have done. You know, we're still continuing to monitor the results, and you know, if we'll ride this out till the end.
But it seems like the margin is or it's widening. The gap is widening. But you guys will continue to monitor the at least for the third and final, possibly the final batch of results. So you guys will continue to monitor it.
Yes, we will.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, we will.
All right. Thank you so much, Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada. Back to you guys at UOG Central.
Why are you sweating? Talk to your people, sir.
Guys, it's not over yet.
Right
Let's everyone calm down. Just a few more minutes. But we are looking good. So, again, all the hard work, everyone here, we thank you. Now we're seeing the results. It's paying off. And we got one more report to go, and then it's really going to turn up over here. Tony?
Thank you to everyone. Without the village org leaders, without the village organizations, without supporters, our family, everyone, all those who have voted for us, you know, it's very humbling. Again, we couldn't have done it without you. Like I said, this is not our campaign. This is your campaign. Your campaign to move Guam forward. Your campaign to put Guam first. Your campaign to put our people first. Thank you, everyone, for all that you have done and continue to do. You know, I know we're only at 39 out of 59 precincts. The number continues the spread continues to widen. So, we just gotta, anything can still happen, but, we wanna stay optimistic, we wanna stay positive, and we're gonna continue down that road until we get all 59 precincts in. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everything, thank you for being here.
Half a day, everybody. Don Silver here. I'm joined again with Dr. Ron McNich. Now, we just heard from the Blas Okada camp, Dr. McNich, who we spoke to earlier today before the first batch of results came in. Now we're post-second batch. The Blas Okada camp appears they are not conceding yet. We're 2/3 of the way done for tonight. But right now, the trend, both on the Republican and the Democratic side of the ticket, seems to be following your exit poll. Can you give us some analysis on how it might look like as we continue to wrap up throughout the night?
Sure. Well, thank you very much again, and I always appreciate these opportunities with KUAM. It's very interesting because the question is, what the Blas Okada camp are doing right now is they're trying to find out how much of the votes have been turned in and whether they've counted the early voting or office voting yet. And so they want to know those answers to those questions. That's perfectly reasonable. And then if it remains consistent and if this trend line continues, as it may very well continue, then there's a concession point at that point. Often candidates don't want to concede too early because their people are still there and their people are true believers. The other thing that's going on right now that nobody ever talks about during these processes is these two camps are communicating directly and indirectly because they have to rhetorically kiss and make up and form a solid Republican Party to then move forward. And so that takes a little bit of the back and forth and the it's like almost like a sports contest. It's almost like good job, you shake hands, you have sportsmanship or the political equivalent. And so that's what's going on right now. And I think that in general, Frank Blas, excellent speaker, very, very good speaker. Mary Okada, excellent administrator at Guam Community College. They both still have a lot to offer to this community. And I think that my hat's off to them for running a good race. And they did a very good, strong race in this effect. On the other two camps, of course, the St. Augustine, St. Nicholas, basically sometimes politicians will cut their teeth on initial runs for governor, and that could be very well the case. 4 years from now, St. Augustine or St. Nicholas could be first. We don't know. So never discount candidate teams or candidates who have a low showing their first time out. That's the first point. Second point, Josh and Josh Tenorio and Therese Trelaje, that's a very different story than the Republican side. They're not going to make up. No, everybody knows this. I'm not saying this on anything I've measured. I've just talked to a lot of people. There's some problems there. And the question, though, is because they're not going to be able to mend fences, then what's going to happen next? And that's the key question, because really this early voting thing, getting all of the final results in, making sure everybody's satisfied, and then here's the key thing. Tenorio and Barnes have a hard question to make, and that is, or the hard look at things. If they're not successful, they've got to decide whether they're going to question the election or not.
Right. And right now it looks as though, and Jason's been talking about it, that the hope is really to get us, this is faster than previous elections, and we're 2/3 of the way done, but it's an interesting race. Do you think right now it could be, at least in the Democratic side, do you think that they could pull a fast one, quote unquote, and possibly get the lead? Or do you think at this point, to sum it up, do you think it's still anyone's game, at least in the Democrats?
The votes haven't been counted yet. It's Superman time. And who knows? Who knows? That's the key point. And there's nothing worse that could happen is if they, ended something early that's not done. And it's hard. It's hard running for office. And it's especially hard at moments like these, late in the night, where you have all of these supporters who have a major heart and love, genuine affection and love for their candidates. Josh is a very fine gentleman. I've known him for many years. So's Tina. Tina's like my daughter's aunt. Our community is the kind of community where we not only look at these people as political candidates, we look at them as people that we know very well. Very, very different. And they're both good people. Therese and Sabina are going to have to navigate that hard rift that exists in the Democrats. That's the hard part.
Right, and candidly speaking, we see, based off of our KUAM forums post the Republican primary gubernatorial forum, once it ended, you still saw more of a united front between the speaker and the vice speaker's camps. And I'm not too sure how we can say that about the Democratic side with the three-way race on their end. So it appears that the Republicans are coming at it, like you mentioned, at a more united front versus Democrats, where, to kind of quote you on this, it's more divided. So post-election, it depending who may win on the Democratic side, how are we going to see, like you mentioned, will the party have to do some rebuilding?
Well, previous legislature, before the one that we had now, it showed there was a major crack in the Democrats because you had a breakaway coalition, Democrat majority that was a coalition Republican majority. It showed that there was major splits within the Democrats and they didn't like each other. In fact, they were very bitter to each other. And to be blunt, some of the things some of those politicians on the Democrat side said about particularly the governor were downright rude and inappropriate. It was beyond just having a difference in opinion on things. It was simply not right.
And you could even argue that in the current legislative body, with the minority now with the Democrats, seeing how there was no clear pick on the minority leader, so to say. So do you think, what would you like to see post-election if it's the Terlahi Perez ticket that ends up coming on top? What do you hope to see from the Democrats as they perhaps, quote unquote, to quote you, rebuild?
I wish them good luck because it's going to take real, true party leadership to mend those people and to bring them if they're going to stay as a party. And you know what? This is the wonderful thing about Guam politics.
Right. And now to wrap this all up, this is still, actually before we wrap this all up, excuse me, premature thought. But tonight is still young though, and so we're hoping, the cutoff time we were hoping was 2 a.m., but do you think it's at the bottom of the hour? How are we feeling right now?
3:30. It's party time until 3:30 in this place.
And do you think, again, it's still early, right? But we mentioned this off camera, but the way the votes are counting, it's mirroring your poll. How do you feel about it?
You know, it's wonderful. Our students do great research, and you know what? The business community should take notice that our students do great research at the University of Guam. And you know, a lot of times businesses don't tap on us, and we wish they would a little bit more. Same thing goes for the government. They did a doggone study through Hawaii. The University of Guam could have done that. We do great research here.
And do you think, we mentioned this in the first, earlier in the night, that it was kind of a low voter turnout, it appears, for the primary, but the trend typically is at the general election because now you can cross quote-unquote party lines. Primary, you're stuck to one side of the ballot. Do you think, or do you hope more, should I ask, that more people come out for the general and vote, especially in my demographic and younger?
I hope a bunch of those incumbents get themselves knocked out of office because we have great candidates running a great primary to general election line. But in fact, the reality is the incumbents are pretty set. I mean, it's not going to, the vast majority of them are not going to move anywhere.
Right, and it's an interesting race. I was speaking this candidly post or pre-election. The Republicans, we have a lot of, and I spoke with the party chair and incumbent Senator Sean Gumatautau. Republicans are bringing a lot of new, fresh faces wanting to run, young faces as well. Democrats are actually, it's very interesting, they're bringing back former senators, and not to excuse the Republicans too. We do have some folks who ran previously and were a senator, like Senator Luis Borja, but majority of the Democrats that are running, they're trying to bring, to to sum it all up, Democrats want to get back the majority. Republicans want to maintain the majority in the legislature. But what do you think of their strategy for the Democrats to bring in old faces to try and sway that back versus the Republicans to try and bring in new blood?
Almost all those senators on the Democrat side that are coming back in were genuine. They weren't knocked out of office for any reason. They voluntarily left the position for a while. That's respectable, because then they come back after a while. I call it the great unfinished work. When you're in office and then you step away for a little bit voluntarily, then when you jump back in, you know what you want to do. Because often a lot of these people, when they get in office and they stay there, they lose touch with the community. I think that group went back and reconnected with the community. Now they can come back afresh.
And how about we're looking at the fresh blood, though, at the Republican camps, or the Republican ticket, excuse me?
Yeah, I think the Republicans did a respectable job getting new people, and I think that they need to continue to do so. So do the Democrats.
Right, and that's very interesting to see versus the two strategies from both sides of the ticket. But now we're going to go ahead and throw it back to Jason, who's standing by.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Now, I am being joined right now by Stephanie Flores, the Executive Director of the Democrat Party of Guam. Steph, first of all, congratulations to you and the members of your party. And because you cannot cross over in a primary election and everything, it would seem, based on the volume of votes that the Democrats are getting, I would assume very, very satisfactory for you.
Well, yes. I mean, we're a little disappointed with the overall turnout of the election. It's trending. It's only 30% voter turnout from registered voters, but clearly people came out to vote Democrat, and that's a good thing.
Now, why do you say that is? Now, you're a lawyer, so you know, and I'm a reporter, so you know, practically speaking and everything like that, was it something that just endeared the candidates to people, or was it like their stance on the issues, or?
Well, you know, I think that obviously, I believe, you know, that we've got really, really good candidates, really good quality candidates on the Democrat side of the ticket, from the top of the ticket all the way down to, you know, the entire ticket's got quality candidates, and I think that drew a lot of people. And at the top of the ticket for governor, we've got very, very good candidates. They're very different. They differ on their approach, but the end result is generally the same. You know, we want people to be taken care of. We believe in quality health care, that those things should be affordable, that families should be taken care of. Those are the types of things that people want to hear, that the candidates are going to work towards, and I think the Democrats are the ones who are going to deliver on those things, and people are looking for that.
Now, of course, there are a few things that we can always rely that are givens in any election and everything, and now it's both parties will say, okay, we got to make sure that we stay together, because now when moving into the general, it's us versus them and everything. We want to make sure that our party, you know, hopefully takes the majority in the legislature and hopefully takes Adelup and everything. So how do you maintain, you know, that unity, that solid spirit?
Well, you know, the Democrats are a big tent party, right? And there's lots of room for different opinions, but we can always agree that we disagree in a more respectful and collaborative way. We respect everybody's opinions, and that's the difference. And we want to move forward. We've agreed to move forward, and we'll see. You know, that's just what has to happen. If we want to prevail in November, we've got to stick together. We can't let differences divide us to the point where we can't recover. Like I said, at the end of the day, we agree on the same basic things. We might not necessarily agree on how to get there, but we do agree on the same basic things.
But I'm sure, just looking at the numbers again, when you saw those first numbers and say like, oh, okay, well, you know, Chris Barnett's in the 5,000s. He's the first. That was a position Therese Terlahi's been in when she's ran for senator the past couple of elections and everything like that. So, seeing how the people, you know, the electorate wants to make sure their voice is heard in that way, that's something you can certainly build on and continue that history.
Yes, I definitely. You know, we do see that, and it's going to trend that way in the general election. We hope to see that our Democrat senatorial prospects are up towards the top of the list there, and I think we've got a really good, solid group. They represent very different parts of our population, and I think that the people of Guam generally will see themselves reflected in our Democrat candidates.
Okay, now, a little bit of a side story, everybody. Steph and I went to St. Anthony's together, right? So, Steph,
Yes.
let me pick your brain about something, right? Because, as you said, you know, 30% is an almost alarming amount of like voter turnout and everything like that. would conjecture just say that that's kind of just because it's a primary and most people say, oh, I'll just come out during the general, or is it, you know, that huge gap for the 18 to 39-year-old demographic of, you know, like the kids just aren't interested in politics, you know, they don't dislike it, they're just kind of apathetic towards it, or is it possibly indicative of something else?
Well, you know, I think it's a little bit of both. I think that a lot of people thought, well, it's the primary, other people are going to come out and vote. I think that's part of it. But it's really hard to get the 18 to 30-year-olds to come out and vote. I mean, they're very engaged online, but getting them to turn that into actually turning around and going into the voting booth, that's the big challenge. And whichever party can capitalize on or figure that out, how to get them to the voting booth, is going to do better.
Yeah, and of course, you know, when you talk about like kids who are 18 to 39, that's, you know, kids who are in college right now, marrying, you know, starting families, buying homes, starting companies, you know, paying off mortgages, you know, having families, like that whole thing. It's not only it can be a very lucrative demographic. That's also a huge chunk of the population. So to not have that in big numbers and everything like that is probably concerning for not only for you, but also for the Republicans.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that it's alarming for everybody, and we've got to figure out exactly how to motivate them, get them to the polls, and let their voices be heard beyond just the keyboard.
Okay. Now, I know you and some of your colleagues over there have been like kind of crunching the numbers and doing your own analysis and everything. Do you know what precincts remain? Because we did 18 for the first batch, 18 for the second. We got like, what, 23 left to go?
There's 23 left to go. I don't believe Barragata's in at all. Malesso is not in. There's 2 precincts in Alahan that's not in. There's still some of Dedido, some of Jigo that's not in there yet. One in Santa Rita's not in yet. And that's generally where it's at.
And these are villages that historically have been able to like swing certain elections when, you know, certain people have been like really sitting pretty. All of a sudden, you know, they're on the outside looking in.
Most definitely. I think Mangilo's not in yet. That's huge, right? So, you know, there's still very, very large, very important. 40% of the votes are still not counted yet. So we'll see.
Okay, well, since you wear the hat as the executive director of the Democrat Party, maybe make the plea to Democrats who didn't come out for this one for whatever reason and say, you know, this is why you have to get involved in the process.
Well, most definitely, you know, KUAM has overwhelmingly been Democrat, and we just need to make sure we come out and vote. It's not, you can't complain if you don't vote, and Democrats love to complain, so we need to love to vote too. So that's, you know, come out and vote this November, make your voices be heard.
Well, Democrats also know how to throw a pretty good party, and we've seen some like out in the camps and everything like that. So congratulations, Madam Executive Madam Executive Director, to you and your party colleagues. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. The party here continues at Election Central at UOG. As Stephanie Flores was just telling me, hopefully we will have 23 precincts tabulated, and hopefully we've got the final batch of results as we are in the final stretch, the home stretch, if you will, for Decision 2026. Please stay tuned. We will be back right after this.
When the island heat turns up, cool down with Circle K's Frostbites Nugget Ice. Light, airy, and perfectly bite-sized, our crunchy Frostbites melt slower to keep your drinks icy cold longer. Plus, each bag is packed with 5 pounds of frozen crunch. Grab yours on your way home or to the beach today for just $2.25. Circle K Frostbites, exclusively at select 76 Circle K locations.
The 5th and final major of the season.
Whatever it takes. It's a life changer.
To me, local news is
everything. Access to information.
that saying, boots on the ground journalism.
Election results, sports results.
Is a trusted source. Anything that's happening within Guam.
Representation. Something that binds a community together.
Maintaining a strong connection with the community.
And the issues that shape our everyday lives.
I think the real question is, what would happen if we didn't stay connected to a community?
It's really important for us to stay connected to the community.
Because they're the very people we work for.
Everyone wants to know what's happening.
Our community has the most important voices.
We are telling the stories that need to be told.
Their challenges and their successes are our own. At the end of the day, it's our community. You're a member of that community and you should care for others.
We are here for the community. It's part of our mission and our vision here at KUAM.
Every story on KUAM is local.
Welcome back to Election Central, everybody. With 23 precincts left to be tabulated now, I have been told that you can go to our social media profiles right now at KUAM News, where Senator Joseph Augustine and his running mate in the gubernatorial Democrat race, Dwayne St. Nicholas, did make their concession speech. Sean Gumatauta joins us once again. Now, Sean, I was just talking to your counterpart for the Democrat Party. You, of course, as a Republican, as a former member of the media covering these things, again, as a former member working down at Adelup with former Governor Felix Camacho's cabinet, as a businessman, as a sportsman and everything, and now as a senator, as a policymaker and everything like that. You see this process, this tradition from a very unique perspective.
No, I do.
A variety of them, in fact.
No, absolutely. And I think that as a guy who's been living in the village of Talafofo now for over 25 years, I've seen a lot of difference in the way that Talafofo does their elections. I used to stay in Hagatna, as you know. I see how they do elections, but very different. And in 2026, we've seen a lot of big changes. And I think for all of us, we should be concerned, but there's still a lot more work to do in the next 90 plus days going into the general election.
Now, of course, with this being a primary election, you cannot cross over. I was just talking with Stephanie Flores about that, and she was like, okay, well, the fact that there have been more Democrat ballots cast than Republicans is impressive, but she said, the larger concern is 30% turnout. I mean, that's, you know more about this stuff than most people and everything like that. That's approaching historically low if it hasn't already surpassed it.
No, absolutely. And I think for all of us, both the Republican Party of Guam, the Democratic Party of Guam, this election starts at the top of the tickets. We're talking 3 gubernatorial candidates on the Democrats, 2 on the Republicans. That's 5 teams that since, the start of the year, we're trying to get people to come out and vote. Yes, the 19 districts of the party were out doing the same thing, but it really is the tops of the ticket that really that draw these people. I saw a lot of people out today, and I thought it was impressive to see from all of the camps. But that I guess now we're seeing it's just not enough.
Could it possibly be just one of those things where people were like, okay, the primary is the primary. I'm going to come in. I'm going to support my Godzu in the general.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me just.
There is no obligation to do both.
Right. I'm maybe putting too much weight on them. But also, let's talk about some of the different civic groups. The Guam Chamber of Commerce, the Guam Contractors Association, the Guam Association of Realtors, the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. Did I miss anybody? Some of the Rotary Clubs, Seroptimus, the Philippine Community of Guam. All of these groups needed to get people to come out and vote. If you think about the kind of effort that was done in this lead up, if we look at and we start looking at the numbers, it's a Saturday. Did they let their people off? I'm sure they did. But let's start looking at purge lists. Let's start looking at that important list when they say, "Oh, boss, I'm going to take the day, 2 hours to come and go vote." But I don't know if some of the corporations are really. I mean, I know I'm looking at them because I think if you talk to any of the candidates that they're doing petitions, they lost some signatures when they went to the GEC. They're saying like, "Wait a second, how many did I lose?" It should tell us as a community when we think of elections. They're important, but we got to be just as diligent to the reality that a lot of people said, well, maybe I didn't vote in the last primary, last general, but we're not. We just got to make sure that we spend more time now. We have 90 days to correct this and course correct it, and the turnout can be bigger. And I think that everyone that's watching right now or hears my voice, I'm hoping that we all get together and make that work.
Now, you're a sports guy, as I am, and we talk about like home court advantage and everything, sure. and usually, okay, and Pat Seville is passing out some results.
Let me jump out.
Yeah, okay. Sean Gumatauta, we will catch up with him real quick.
100%.
Okay, and thank you, Pat. And Pat Seville actually just said 100%. This is it, everybody. This is the final batch. 59 out of 59 precincts have now reported in, and we will start with the Republican gubernatorial race. It is the Ada Calvo team with 60.6% of the votes, 5,138 votes. They have defeated the team of Blas Ocada. Well, again, pending certification by the Guam Election Commission, that's going to happen in between 10 days to 2 weeks, is Ada Calvo ahead of Blas Ocada. 5,138 votes does the Ada Calvo team. Blas Ocada finishes with 3,333 3 votes. So they are the unofficial victors, pending certification once more, in the Republican gubernatorial race. As far as the Democrats, beg your pardon while I separate the paper. Here we are. In the Democrat race, it is Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez, 47.8% of the votes. They have 6,387 votes. Tenorio Muñoz finishes with 5,927 votes. So the margin did shrink by about 100 votes, but it is Terlahi Perez having more votes than Josh Tenorio and Tina Muñoz. The Tenorio Muñoz team has 44.4% of the votes. The team of Senator Joe San Augustine and Dwayne Silinkis had 1,041 for about 7.8% of votes. So again, Terlahi Perez, 6,387 votes. Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Muñoz, 5,927 votes. And the members of the GEC, the board, I'm going to try and lower my voice like a little bit, everybody, because the GEC board is convening right now to wrap up. And it is 1:47. And the members are saying right now, these are the unofficial complete results. Once again, pending certification by the GEC. Okay, let's get to the Republican congressional race. It is Jim Moylan, the unofficial winner of that race with 60.1% of the votes. Against Mary Torres' 3,258 votes. That is Maria Pangolini, the executive director of the Guam Election Commission, reading the results. I'm reading to you right now. So let me go over this real quick. I hope our audio doesn't bleed over each other, but here are the. So is Jesse Anderson Lujan, number 1. Sabrina Salas Matanani, number 2. Chris Duenas, number 3. Shelly Calvo, number 4. Sean Gumatato, I just talked to him, number 5. Congratulations to our friend Sean. Vince Bora, number 6. Tello Taigui, number 7. Ralph Scambaluri, number 8, moves back up to the number 8 spot. Jonathan Savaras moves down to number 9. Luis Borja, number 10. Dr. Hoa Wen, number 11. Will Castro, number 12. Gregorio Calvo, number 13. Mateo Mortera, number 14. And Joseph Ariola, number 15. The 3, once again, pending certification by the GEC in about 2 weeks' time. The 3 that have not advanced are Alexander Duenas, Brandon Vera, and Robert Leangaro. That is for the Republican senatorial race. I beg your pardon. Here we are for the Democrats. The top 7 are Chris Barnett, number 1, finishes with 9,310 votes. So outstanding campaign there by Chris Barnett. Amanda Shelton, number 2. Talina Nelson moves up to number 3. She finishes with 7,540 votes. Danya Muna Kanata is number 4. She has 7,062. Former Senator Clint Rigel is number 5. Angel Sablan, number 6. Senator William Parkinson is number 7. Former Senator Roy Kanata is number 8. Angela Santos is number 9. Fred Bordallo is number 10. Sarah Thomas Nedadog is number 11. Callan Perez is number 12. Anthony Tyron is number 13. Joaquin Taidigui is number 14. Captain Kin Cruz is number 15, and then the 3 who will not advance. Dave Duenas at number 16, Lillian Guerrero at number 17, and Jerry Yingling at number 18. So once again, the top 7 Democrats: Chris Barnett, Amanda Shelton, Talina Nelson, Donna Muñoz Kanata, Clint Rigel, Angel Sablan, and William Parkinson. They are the top 7 Democrat senatorial candidates. Let's go ahead and recap the gubernatorial race real quick again. And we're starting with the Democrats now. It is Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez, pending certification by the GEC once again. But they are the unofficial winner of the gubernatorial Democrat race. They have 6,387 votes, as opposed to Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Muñoz at 5,927 votes. Maybe about about 300 votes. That's very, very close. And the Joe San Augustine, Dwayne San Nicolas team, 1,041 votes. For the Republicans in the gubernatorial race, it is Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo with 5,138 votes. They have 60.6% of the votes, and Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada have 3,333 votes. They have 39.3% of the votes. We're getting the graphics ready for you so you can see that. We're gonna recap. Okay. Okay. While we get the graphics ready for you, we're going to go out to the camps with some reactions. Okay. Let me see if I can get these graphics ready for you, everybody. One moment.
5,984. Sarah Marie T. Nedidor, 5,807.
I can't hear you. Okay.
This is Josh and Tina. The results have just come in, and we just wanted to congratulate you for winning the primary.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for calling us and, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. You guys, this was a tough race against you too, for sure. So we're very grateful, and of course, as we promised you, we're going to continue to collaborate, and we want to work together. This is all for Guam, so that's all we want. Yes.
Well, I want you to please, just a special message to your family, your supporters, to also extend our congratulations to them, and just to let them know that you ran a great race, and we'll look forward to the future.
All right, Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Tina, Josh. Yeah, thanks. This is Marcy. Take care.
I'm shocked. We will start with the Republican gubernatorial race.
I was like holding out, like, okay, where are the other votes? Oh man. Do we have a win?
All right, everybody, we have our graphics for you right now. Let's go ahead and recap. As all 59 voting precincts on Guam have now reported in, this is 100% of the precincts. Let's go ahead and take a look at the congressional Republican race first. It is Jim Moylan, the unofficial winner of the Republican race, defeating Mary Torres. The incumbent has 2,806 votes. Mary Torres, both of these outstanding Guamanians, both former senators in the Guam legislature, but Jim Moylan has defeated, pending certification by the GEC, he has defeated Mary Torres. She has 1,917 votes. Of course, on the Democrat side, Alicia Limtiaco, the former U.S. Attorney for Guam and the CNMI, ran unopposed, so her vote total is 5,705 votes. She will automatically advance to the general election on the first Tuesday in November. All right, here we go. Gubernatorial Republican race. The ranks did not change throughout the night's voting in all three batches that the GEC did put out. Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo have defeated Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada with 2,943 votes to the Blas Okada team's 1,932 votes. Let's take a look now at the Democrats. This is the one that everybody was talking about because this race was so close, and after this, the final 23 precincts came in, that margin narrowed from about 500 down to 300, but it is Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez, once again, the unofficial winners of the Democrat gubernatorial race. They have 3,736. Josh Tenorio and Tita Rose Munya Barnes have 3,220, and then Joe San Augustine and Dwayne St. Nicholas have 632. Real quick, you guys want to do senatorial? Okay, senatorial race for the Republicans. Jesse Anderson Lujan, Sabrina Salas Matanani, Chris Duenas, Shelley Calvo, Sean Gumatautau, Vince Borja, and Tello Taidigui. Top 7 spots in the Republican senatorial race all go to incumbents. 8 through 12 are Jonathan Savaras, Ralph Scambaluri, Luis Borja, Dr. Hoa Wen, and Will Castro. 13 to 18 for the Republicans are Gregorio Calvo, Mateo Mortera, Alexander Duenas, Joseph Ariola, Brandon Vera, and Robert Beneventi. All right, real quick with the Democrats, Chris Barnett, Amanda Shelton, Tilina Nelson, Clint Rigel, Angel Sablan, Donna Munya Kanata, Will Parkinson are the top 7.
Executive Director
And now here are the remainder of the Democrats. Now I was mentioning Tina Rose Munya Barnes. Let's go now to the Tina Rose Munya Barnes out in the field for some reactions.
Obviously, we have received the uncertified, unofficial results of the Guam Election Commission, and it has given us a message.
All right, everybody. So while the results are low, we want to make sure, please make sure to share these with all of your friends. Make sure to go follow us on all of our social media. We're at KUAM News. Now let's go out to the unofficial winner of the gubernatorial Democrat race, Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez.
2, 1. Half a day, everyone. Nick Delgado still here at the Terlahi Perez camp in Hagåtña with an update. Now that we see that Terlahi Perez remains in the lead after the second batch, we're still waiting for that third and final batch of results. But we have an update to bring you from Senators Joe San Augustine and Dwayne San Nicolas. The candidates that were pretty much promoting a positive platform. We heard from them at the beginning of the night. They now have a statement since seeing the latest batch of results saying, quote, "We are deeply grateful to the people of Guam for placing your trust in us throughout our time in office and during this campaign. Although the outcome of the 2026 primary election was not what we had hoped for, we are proud of the work we accomplished together for our island. And I am grateful," they say, "for the connections we made along the way. We congratulate the Democratic nominee and wish the people of Guam the absolute best." This statement, of course, coming from Communications Director for the Committee to Elect San Augustine and San Nicolas, their comms Director Isaiah again issuing that statement to KUAM just moments ago. And we also had asked the campaign as well, will they be calling and reaching out to the Terlahi Perez camp or to the Tenorio and Munya Barnes camps to concede at this point based on how they're wrapping it up without the final results being in. At this point, we're hearing that's not going to be the case this evening. But we do have the Lieutenant Governor candidate, Sabina Perez, standing by with some reaction, and joining us as well is my fellow colleague, Janice, with that reaction. Janice?
Half a day, everyone. We're going to catch up with Sabina Perez. Sabina, what are your reactions in regards to what we just listened to?
Well, I think the night's still young. Obviously, we don't know what the early voting count is. We're not clear as to whether the precincts included those counts, and as well as the absentee ballots. So, and we know that I believe the early voting was about 5,000 votes that came through, and so there's still there's potential change that could happen, and so we're not. We want to be clear at the end of the night whether what the count is, but we're not ready to finalize anything at this moment.
Important news. So we just received a call from the Lieutenant Governor Joshua Tenorio and his running mate Senator Tina Munya Barnes, and they congratulated us for winning the primary. I want to make some special thanks, and I want to thank Mary Jo Kenga. She's been our campaign manager this time. Thank you, Mary Jo. I want to thank my daughter, Maria. And of course, all my family, but all of my friends who are so strong in their support. Like we always say, we could not do it without you. But most importantly, I want to thank Sabina for saying yes. Let me tell you, Sabina is very brave. To run with me at the time that I decided to run was a big risk, but she was willing to take it, and she said, whatever you need, I'm going to be there for you. And I could not ask for anything more than that, and so we just worked as hard as we could, and we wanted to really do well for the people of Guam. We wanted, when we said we saw you struggling and we heard you, we listened to you, and you're struggling, we want to help you. But again, tonight is just for thank you, thank you, thank you.
I just want to reiterate all the thanks to everyone who come out and supported us through this campaign. Thank you, Senator Therese, also for really guiding this process. You did a lot of hard work, and to everyone who came along to this point. And I'm in shock right now. So yeah, again, this is a vote for you guys, and we are dedicated to making this change for our island. We know there's an urgent need for change, and we're ready to get to work, and to the next stage at least, right? So, yeah, we're looking for all your support. Tzuz Masi.
There you have it. This just in, as you heard, the other Democratic teams conceding. Going next to the general election and moving forward, Speaker Therese Terlahi, Senator Sabina Perez, going up against the Republican candidates in the general election this November. Now, let's hear from them a little more after getting this win.
Any words? Just everybody's just so very grateful to the people of Guam. I mean, look what they did. They were very clear. They want to make change. They want a government that's going to take care of them, and we're going to work as hard as we can tonight and tomorrow to just continue to work for them.
Yeah, I just want to again thank you to the people of Guam. This is your time for change, and we're going to bring you along through this whole process. So, Tzuz Masi.
All right, congratulations. Speaker Therese Terlahi, Senator Sabina Perez, moving forward, progressing to the general election this November. For the very latest on all the results, head over to KUAM.com, as well as follow us at KUAM News on Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube. You know where to find us. For now, I'm Nick Delgado. Tzuz Masi. Adios.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow, what a tremendous finish. 59 of 59 precincts are in. The numbers are in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to the general election. Yeah! The only thing we're going to wait now is just a certification from the Guam Election Commission. This election has been really, really great. Speaker Blas and Dr. Mary Okada ran a campaign that's like we did. A lot of hard work.
Hold on, everybody. Quiet, quiet.
Sorry. Can I put you on speaker? Thank you.
I'm here with everybody. EJ, Jackie, and everyone else that's here.
Okay, I'm here with Mary, Dave, and Till. Okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Viva!
Working together for you.
Okay, my boy.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. We love you guys.
Viva Blas Okada! Viva Blas Okada! Viva Blas Okada! Hey, get this on. Talk to us, Vice Speaker.
As you all heard, that was Speaker Frank Blas. What a humble and honorable man. Then Dr. Mary Okada, their family and their team. Truly, truly good warriors. We look forward to getting with them, but we can take this all the way to Adelaide. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw during this campaign time that Speaker Blas and I, yes, we may both have ran for governor, but we have so much in common. We have so much in common because my son is his godson. And we go back because we're family as well. But when we came together and we both put ourselves out there, it was about what we can do for the people of Guam and what we can do for our island. This was not about self-service. This was not about anything personal. This was about being there for the people. And we continue to do it, and we're going to move forward with it. Woo! It's very heartwarming because, you know, my prairie, he's always been there. This term, we always turn to each other. When something comes up, you'll call me, Barry, are you in your office? I say, yes, I need you in my office, Vice, and I'm there. Or I'll call him and I say, Speaker, are you there? Yes. Because it was about working together, and that's what we will continue to do. You're going to be very proud of the 38th Guam legislature, and you're going to be more proud of the next gubernatorial administration. With that, I'd like to thank everyone, and you know, most especially, you know, God the Almighty, because without Him, nothing is possible. He has truly guided this campaign. You know, at times, sometimes you lay down and you wonder, and you just lay there and you say, God, am I doing the right thing? You know? And then when you wake up the next morning, when I wake up the next morning, it just gives me new energy. You know, I go to sleep maybe like 9, 10 o'clock, but I'm up by 4 a.m. And I continue to do the work because that's what I feel, and that's how we're going to move forward. So when I wake up at 4 a.m., guess who I wake up at 4 a.m.? EJ Cabo. That's because I send him the news every morning, along with us. But EJ.
Let's go, EJ! Viva EJ Cabo! Let's go, EJ!
So when we win a big game, I always let my guys know, you got 24 hours to celebrate. You got 24 hours to think about everything you did right, everything you can improve on, and then you get locked in for the next. Do we get 24 hours, Mayor? No. No. You guys get 24 hours. We're gonna start. I started already. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. I am happy, but at the same time, this is not over until we accomplish the goal we set out to accomplish. So, don't get me wrong. I thank all of you. I loved celebrating with you guys. I loved working with everyone here, but it is not over. We can enjoy the time tonight, but we got to get back to work. And that's what it's about. That's what's going to bring success. It's what's going to bring us to the level we need to get to win the general election and accomplish our goal of bringing change to Guam. So that's what it's all about for me. I thank all of you. I thank Tony. I am extremely happy, and I think I'll be happier after a good night's sleep. But this is exactly what we needed to do tonight. So appreciate all of you. We did it. Step up.
You know, once again, because I control the microphone, now I'm going to give our wives.
All right, everybody. So after about a action-packed last 4 hours here at Election Central, you heard from the analysts, you heard from the experts, you heard from the candidates themselves, and earlier the team of Senator Joe San Augustine and Dwayne Sanicas issued a statement. You can go on our social media if you would like to see that, in which they conceded the Democrat gubernatorial race. We'd also like to show you now from earlier this evening, the concession speech made by Josh Tenorio and Tina Rose Muñoz-Barnes.
Loyal and supremely courageous supporters of the Josh and Tina team. So with that, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Governor Joshua Tenorio and Senator Tina Muñoz-Barnes.
Happy day, everybody. We know today is Sunday. So first, we thank God for His blessings on all of us and especially the blessings that all of you have given to me and to Senator Tina. I tell you that there have been so many adversities that have been before us. But every time that I have spoken to you, you have given me the energy, the strength, and the determination to fight for Guam's future. And we attempted a very good, excellent fight on behalf of all of you and the island of Guam. And I am so grateful that the person that I have chosen to be with me on this journey, I think is one of the best teammates anybody could have. She really has dedicated her life. And I learned so much from her. You know, she's not always won everything. And even though it didn't work out for her, she always picked herself back up. She remembered her faith in God. She remembered the strength of her family and her love and determination for the people of Guam. And for that, Tina Rose Muñoz Barnes, you're a one badass chick. A few minutes ago, I made a phone call. Senator Tina and I made a phone call to congratulate Senators Therese Terlahi and Sabina Perez. I congratulated them. I asked them to extend our congratulations to their family and to their supporters. I told them that, of course, we're looking forward to the future of the island. But what I want to tell you after that is, although Tina and I are not going to be on the ballot in November, we are going to fight for all of our candidates running in the other elections so that we can deliver a win for the people of Guam. I want to recognize my mom, my family, all of you. You are my family. And I want to thank I think our biggest supporter in this entire election was this woman named Lou Leon Guerrero, who has led this island. And by the way, Republicans, it was the Democrats that turned this government around. We are the ones that fixed the finances. We're the ones that set this island forward, and we will not take it back. So, I just want to congratulate all of you for a hard-fought race. I sincerely want to thank, and I just love all of you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have done, the sacrifices that you made, and most of all, for the fun that we have and will have in the future. Tina.
Thank you. Viva Josh and Tina! Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a humbling journey for me and Josh and my partner. But I want to let each and every one of you know that from my heart to yours, it was because of you that we continue to push forward and fight for what we truly believe in. And I'm not going to take away from the work that the administration has done to turn our government around, to turn and give the people what they rightfully deserve, to make sure that our Manhobin and our Manamku receive the services that they need. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to continue to move on. This is just but a journey, a temporary journey that we will decide together to see how much more we can help our people of Guam. I'm not a quitter, never been. I want to thank my family, my children, my siblings, and most importantly to each and every one of you who believed in us and who will continue to believe on us. Because for me, every time there is a loss, you get right back up, you move forward, and you continue to do the journey in the path to see how we can help our people. I will never give up on that. And this is my life. This has been my life for over 4 decades, 44 years working for you as a public servant, and I will continue that till the day I die. And I just want you guys to know ugway sa hamtu mas si Tusa Bini DC. God has been good. And I just want to say that without him, we won't be here. So when you go home this morning, take time to be grateful that we've been blessed to have a beautiful island called Guam. Be blessed to know that you make a difference because you truly are the VIPs for our beautiful island of Guam. I want to say to this awesome lady who literally really drove Guam to make a difference, to make it right for our people. And more importantly, so that you will always be there with us through thick and thin. And I just love you all.
I just have one last thing to tell all of you. Everybody here has a responsibility and a role in shaping Guam's future. It doesn't just rest on political leaders, it rests on each and every single one of us. In your families, at your places of work, at your places of business, this is the best place to live in Guam, and all of us have a responsibility to make it sure and to make it go forward. Tutus Maasi, God bless you guys. I love you. Viva Guam! Viva Guam! Tutus Maasi.
All right, everybody, Jason and Don wrapping up here on a very, very successful primary election for our friends at the Guam Election Commission. Now, you know, Don, 48 hours ago when the GEC's board met, they actually put forth a challenge to Executive Director Maria Pangilinan and her team saying, you know, can we get this done and possibly be out by 2? The GEC not only got that done, they beat it by 3 minutes. We were actually done at 1:57. That is incredible.
Yeah, I was actually telling everyone I'm ready to stay until 4 or 5 in the morning. You know, but when I heard the last batch being called out, I was like, wow. Special kudos to the Guam Election Commission when they called the meeting to over at 1:57. I said, they're working hard, extra hard this year.
Absolutely, but you know, the concern is the low voter turnout right now, and as you heard from Stephanie Flores, as you heard from Sean Gumatao, you know, the experts from either side of the party, they are concerned about the fact that more Guamanians weren't coming out, participating in the election process, specifically the youth.
Right, and then typically, and I was talking earlier with Dr. Ron McNitch, who did the exit polls, and fun fact, the trend did mirror the exit poll towards the end, or throughout the night actually, but typically we see the trend too in the primary is that it's a low voter turnout in general, pun intended, in the primary, and it ramps up towards the general election. So I'm hopeful, or we're hopeful, that perhaps youth voters come out in the general election more so. Absolutely,
but as for the results and the turnout, you know, everybody was very, very happy with that. A wonderful, wonderful election season ran by all of the candidates and everything, for making the choice and for going through, you know, the financial, behavioral, you know, the emotional strain that you have to do to put your name out there and be a candidate and everything like that. Hats off to you for anyone who decided they want to do that, to propose solutions, to bring about change, or to make a difference in the community.
Right, it's not easy to put your name out there. Dr. McNitch was saying it. It takes a special kind of person, in this case persons, to put their name out there and practically get scrutinized by the people of Guam because they want to represent them and be an elected leader into office.
All right, so please make sure to watch Weekend Edition tomorrow, because we're going to have, or today I should say, because we're going to have comprehensive analysis and coverage of the primary election. For Don Sulat and the entire KUAM cast and crew here, I'm Jason Salas, everybody. Good morning.